What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Antstroworld Live. Today we got a jam-packed episode. So first off, we're gonna be doing the wrestling mid-year review, and then right afterwards, we're gonna be having the Seth Rollins discussion, man, because there's been a lot of discourse online about that particular individual. So we're just gonna have a discussion at the end. I got Smooth with me here today. Cam, Shush, Deontay, Drew. Make sure y'all go follow them on all their social medias. Links are going to be in the description down below. But yeah, let's get right into it. So, mid-year review. We're halfway through 2025. A lot of crazy things have happened this year. A lot of crazy things. Whether it's WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan, you name it. So for the awards, we're going to start off with Male Wrestler of the Year. So we'll go in order. So I'll have Smooth go first, Cam, Shush, Deontay, Drew, and then I'll go. So Smooth.
Male Wrestler of the Year. I might have to go back. I might have to come back with that one. Damn.
All right. Cam, I'll let you go there.
I think me and Cam will have the same person. I know me and Cam will have the same person.
Three people for me that I have in this competition. One is Hangman Adam Page. One is Hangman Adam Page. Two is Kenny Omega, and three is Hiroki Goto. Those would be my three.
Hangman's a good one. Hangman is definitely a good one.
Well deserved.
Definitely well deserved. Omega, Goto, yeah, that's a solid list right there. The three of those are solid. But Shush,
my three would be Hangman, Jacob Fatu. The third,
definitely the biggest riser this year.
100%. Do you know what? I was going to put my honorable mentions, but Solo Sikoa. He's been great this year, so I'm going with Solo.
Okay. Deontay, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Hangman. Most definitely Hangman. For two, I'll probably say Will Ospreay. Three, and yeah, I'm agree with Cam. I'm gonna go with Hiroki Goto.
Respect that. Drew, who you got?
All right, Hiroki could go to. Gotta go with him. Hangman Page. Surprised nobody has mentioned this name. Konosuke Takeshita. I love Konosuke Takeshita. Probably my favorite in-ring performer right now. Anytime he's on television, I'm guaranteed I'm watching that episode of Dynamite or Collision, and definitely even watching the pay-per-view with him in it. Shout out to, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously Will Ospreay. I do love Kyle Fletcher. Every time I see him, he's probably my favorite in-ring performer right now. But if we're talking overall wise, when it comes to gimmicks, when we're talking about the mic, we're talking about the in-ring ability, I gotta go with Adam Hangman Page. Well deserved.
That's what's up. My list, so I'm only gonna go with two people, so I'll go WWE and AEW. So AEW is a given. It's Hangman Adam Page. That man has been having one of the best years in wrestling by far. Like the matches at Double or Nothing, the storytelling, the little feud with Swerve Strickland, is all leading up to him eventually winning that AEW title at All In. Hopefully that happens.
Oh God.
I'm pretty sure everybody in here is rooting for him to win that title All In.
We should happen. It has to happen.
It's gotta happen.
This storyline with the fucking Deathers cannot keep going, bro. It's just
no,
shut up. No, I hate that guitar riff,
bro. They gotta wrap it up. They gotta wrap it up. But for WWE, my star of the year for WWE, man, honestly, as much as I'm not a big, I don't know if I'll put him there. Hold on. It's hard for WWE.
Were you gonna say Cody Burger?
I'm gonna say Seth Rollins. I'm saying Seth Rollins is my superstar of the year, male wrestler of the year for 20 so far for 2025. With the big win at WrestleMania, the little thing he's got cooking up with Paul Heyman is just in the beginning stages. We'll get to that later because I know there's a lot to be said. A lot to be said.
Ooh,
And just winning Money in the Bank too. This has been solid. I would say Cena, but I'm not gonna lie. I have my gripes with the whole heel run booking. I have my gripes with it, which we'll talk about that later too. But yeah, those
I've got
are
one
my
honorable
two.
mention.
You got honorable mention?
Braun Breaker. Yeah, Braun Breaker.
Braun's a good one. That's a good one.
He's getting
I'll probably go. I would definitely go with. I would definitely go with.
Now I got my answers.
WWE.
But
oh yeah, Smooth. Yeah.
Now I got my answer. So AEW, obviously Hangman. He's having one hell of a run, and I hope he beats Moxley at All In. And WWE, Braun Breaker, without a doubt.
Got Braun Breaker. I forgot to talk about WWE because I don't know. I think AEW is just doing a little better right now.
AEW definitely getting a lot better.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie to you.
Better.
Like I know we shit on the weekly television, but when it comes to wrestling and some of the storylines right now, I mean, outside the fucking Death Riders, which is literally the thorn in the rose, I gotta say, man, I've been more in tune with AEW than WWE.
Oh no,
fair enough.
Oh no.
We're gonna talk about that because I don't like that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. But no,
Death Riders, that's crazy.
AEW, like it is actually getting a lot better. Like there's a lot of great storytelling, a lot of great build up towards All In, like Mercedes and Tony. You got Hangman versus Moxley. They're building him up. There's been a lot of good storytelling.
Okada versus Kenny.
Okada versus Kenny is another one.
Yeah.
Ospreay
been
versus
great.
Yep. Beautiful.
Great, just better feuds, just better storylines. I mean, like I know like people like to shit on AEW when it comes to storylines, but like honestly, man, like let's look at WWE and compare it to AEW. Like what feuds they got going on that's like better than AEW, like for the most part. Like obviously Cena, it's always going to be an attraction, but I don't know, man. Like yeah, I know, yeah. But
sadly we gotta see Rhea going after the fucking Women's World Championship win.
And Io's title reign hasn't been that great either.
Wait, what happened, Cam?
Io told me. Huh?
I think his thing keeps cutting off. I think it's a little delayed.
Oh.
Yeah, his thing is delayed because it keeps cutting in and out and keeps freezing.
Is there nothing else? Is there nothing else for Rhea to do? Deadass. Is there nothing else for Rhea to do?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. The same shit we give to Charlotte about only being relevant when there's a title involved in a feud, we might have to start saying that with Rhea because that's looking like the case.
Oh my god!
Look, and don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Io versus Rhea is gonna cook. Don't get me wrong. But my goodness, bro.
We've seen it so much this year. It feels
exactly.
It feels like that's our only feud. But I told you, I don't know. Maybe Triple H hit his head or something, and he's just continuing to do this because there could have been so many other people that could have got it.
I think your thing is better now.
Okay, yeah. All right, I was gonna say two things. One, EO told me to tell all of y'all that we ain't worried about Rhea Ripley. We don't put foots in our ass every time we face off. We gonna put foots in our ass again. We ain't worried. That's one. She gonna get that's one. Rhea Ripley that's one. EO Scott is gonna once again jam her foot so far of Rhea Ripley's ass is gonna be ridiculous. So we ain't worried about that. We ain't worried about that. Second thing about the Rhea thing. Rhea's plan for this show got changed like 5 different times. Like the Liv Morgan injury, I don't think y'all understand how badly that fucked over WWE.
It did.
It was a freak accident. I saw that live too. I was like, "What the fuck happened?" It was against Kairi Sane, right?
Yeah.
So I was watching the match and I'm like, "Wait, what is it?" I literally turned the TV. I literally turned away for like 2 minutes, and I come back. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like,
The original,
right? I thought we had technical difficulties. That's why I really thought, and I'm like, oh shit, she's injured, like legit. Because you know how like sometimes we'll like build up an injury, like oh she, I don't know, medical doctor seems like she's okay. Like kind of like faking it because
medical.
But you knew for a fact it was real when she was on the side of the barricade and they legit had to like carry her out.
No, but the thing with Rhea, here's the thing, right? It was originally going to be Liv, right? They're going to do Liv and Io with Saudi. They're going to do Liv and Io with Saudi, and then they're going to do Liv and Io with Saudi, and then they're going to do Liv and Raquel against the Bellas. It was either going to be Liv. I think the original report was it was going to be Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne against the Bellas and Rhea. So that would have been Rhea's match, but obviously Liv Morgan got hurt. Then Liv got hurt. The plan before that, though, before Bianca got fucked up, were they're going to do Bianca and Rhea on the show. They're going to do Bianca and Rhea on the show. That in like a big grudge match. That got fucked up because Bianca Belair is injured too. So if that got taken, so now it's like, well, what the fuck do we do with? Because like they're going to do. Rhea was going to be doing something else. They were going to do Io and Stephanie on the show. That was the original plan. But Liv Morgan got hurt. Everybody being hurt. It was like, well, fuck, we need something for Rhea to do. So I guess we'll do an Io. So that's why Rhea's getting this spot.
Which I mean, like, it makes sense because when you lose a star like that, you got to change plans and everything. You got to put them in like that, placement. But since we're talking about the female wrestlers, we got to talk about female wrestler of the year. So, Smooth. Who do you got?
I have one.
So for WWE, I think it's Stephanie Valquer. I see a lot of potential in her, and I feel like she's going to win the Women's World title.
Her rise has been amazing. Like
she's having an amazing run in WWE. She's already NXT. She was already NXT Women's Champion,
Money in the Bank participant,
NXT North American Champion, and NXT Women's North American Champion.
Yeah, because what was it? She won the North American title in February. Then she unified. Well, not unified. She became
unified.
Double champ. MSG.
But then she had to vacate the title. One of the titles, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She had to vacate the North American one,
which makes sense. But still, they could have kept that ship riding for a little bit.
Exactly.
Being double champ, whatever. It is what it is.
But
Smooth. You said Valkyrie for WWE, and then what else?
And then for AEW, lover or hater, I think it's Mercedes. Cause let's be real, I think she's elevating the women's division in AEW.
Oh, without a doubt.
She's whether you love her or hate her, she's doing her thing. And she's gonna win the AEW Women's Championship.
I don't know about elevating for real. I mean, women is still getting the same treatment in AEW, bro. We only get one match.
I know. Some of you guys probably ain't feeling Mercedes.
I think it's because of the booking, but it's not her.
It's the booking.
Yeah, it's not her doing the booking decision. It's what they want. It's what they want her to do. Yeah. Like if they want her to be multi-champion from other promotions, be my guest. But honestly, she deserves it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I think the problem is like people don't like how she's portrayed as a heel. I think that's the problem. But I think people read into too much about that shit. I like the wrestling. She's one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Her and Tony, I'm not gonna lie, the feud has been good. Like I said, I don't have a problem with Mercedes. I love Mercedes. It's not Mercedes. It's just how they've been treating the women. Like I said, one match, one segment, boom, you're done. Like, what the fuck does that do for the women, bro?
To be fair, I think they have. To be fair, I think the women. It could be a lot better. I think they have been doing a better job of showcasing the women. I think they have been doing a much better job of showcasing the women. I like the fact that we get I like the fact that Dynamite is still the same way, so he won't win this segment. But I like the fact that on Collision we get. But I like the fact that on Collision we get 2 winning segments. I don't know if you guys know this or not. Point reports. AEW have women's tag team titles sitting on a shelf. They're just waiting to. So that's part of the reason why we've been seeing a lot of female pairings in AEW. Like obviously KJ with Takashi being back, Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, Athena and Billy Starks have been getting more TV time on Dynamite. Tahakla, it looks like she's gonna be a partner now, so it looks like she's.
I feel like that tag team changed for me after.
Thunder Here's
Rosa
my question
incident.
for you, Cam. Do you think the AEW women's tag titles will work?
No, I don't think they need them, but
I agree.
They're not working in WWE. Why should they work in
so why
WWE?
would it work in AEW? Like, and WWE has more of a stronger roster too than AEW. I mean, granted, with AEW, it's more top heavy than WWE, in my opinion at least. Like, I feel like they got a better main like event scene, but as far as like mid card goes, it's the dip is like definitely there. And with WWE, if they can't make it work in WWE, how is it going to work at AEW? The answer is it's not going to work.
All right, Shush, who you got? Female wrestler of the year.
It's so hard. It's definitely not Tiffany Stratton. It's definitely not her.
Could have been, but
it could have been.
I was a Tiffany Stratton a few days ago.
That reign
the way
was
she's
so
calling
shitty.
people boys.
That reign is so
Tiffany
shitty.
Stratton. I'm waiting for Tiffany to lose that shit. Racist.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I seen that video. Yeah, that's crazy work. I'm not gonna lie, that is crazy work.
Probably Mercedes. Mercedes. I don't know. WWE women hasn't really been a standout.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, the one that's entertaining the most this year would probably be Chelsea Green, but
yeah, even then, like they've been kind of fucking her over lately.
Yeah. US title run was fun. Her Secret Harvest had potential, but they I don't know what they're doing with that. And then EO's not really done that much since WrestleMania. Rhea's not really she's just there.
Just
Charlotte,
been flat.
I really wanted to say EO, but they haven't booked her at all.
This title has been very underwhelming, man. It's not on EO, man. It's just how the booking's been lately.
It's the booking. Like I can't wait. I can't wait till we get to that later segment because I got a lot to say about Shish's favorite person's booking because there's been a lot of crazy things he's been doing with this booking.
But also some speculative rumors too about the whole situation with him and TKO. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah, because I got a lot to say about that.
Another honorable mention is probably Lyra because
I'll say this: the person that's booking right now might not be the booker next year.
Hey, bro.
I cannot wait.
Hold on.
I pray.
Look at this match graph. Look at this match graph that I just dropped. Look at that right there.
The heroes versus the villains.
Heroes versus villains.
Corny.
It's Kyle O'Reilly, Bandito, and Roderick Strong versus Takeshita.
That's like. Are they promoting Superman?
That's a good match.
Yeah.
That's a point.
That's a good match. That's a good.
Oh man, that's one way to promote Superman.
That match is gonna cook though. I'm gonna watch that tomorrow.
Loves doing big.
My favorite promotion of all time is the Texas Chainsaw game with that horrible.
Match Jeff Hardy versus Jeff Jarrett. Yeah.
Oh god! Oh god! God awful! Don't remind me.
That show is gonna be nice tomorrow. Mina versus Mercedes. You getting Okada
that's gonna be banger
tomorrow. That 6-man tag is gonna be real nice. I'm hoping they had some good segments and stuff that further along.
I just seen that match. Why are the Bucks teaming with Takeshita? Why?
Huh?
Why is the Bucks and Takeshita teaming?
Because
the Lee and Don Callis family, right?
I'm about to say, the Elite and Don Callis, they have a little
they're cool, right?
Yeah.
They have a little back going.
It's just 3 random people against another 3 random. Why?
Random.
Yeah,
random.
No, I'm not saying random, but the Bucks are in the storyline with Swerve and Ospreay.
The elite and Don Callis have a working relationship, so there you go. So that's why Takeshi's being there. Bandito Takeshita for the let's go. Bandito is wrestling Takeshita the Friday before he's wrestling Bandito
Oh yeah, he's wrestling him at
Friday
Supercard.
before all
Not Supercard, but
whatever the fuck Ring of Honor pay per
Oh,
Just before
okay.
Dishonor or something like that.
That's just
that
wrestling.
match.
There you go.
Fair enough. No, I was just confused.
And I think not Roger Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, but I don't know. You can put those in the Bucks together because I guess it's storytelling when the Super Elite was together or whatever, but Roger Strong wasn't even there yet at the time.
Yeah, just random, but it's cool.
All right, but Deonta, who you got as your female wrestler of the year?
It would have been Stephanie, but Stephanie's at 3. Number 2 would be Mercedes. But my number 1, and arguably, I think she is, without a doubt, probably the number 1 women's wrestler in the world right now. And it is Sarie. I think Sarie is probably, Sarie is the best women's wrestler right now.
Wait. Who? Wait, who?
Sarie!
Oh,
Sarie.
I thought you said
Sarie.
Sarie. I was gonna say, I thought you were
No,
trolling.
Sarie. She was at NXT,
No, I
right?
thought you
For a
meant
cup of
Paige.
coffee?
Yeah, no, I know who that is.
She was a
Yeah, no,
hooper.
I thought you meant Paige. I was gonna say.
She was a hooper.
Again, some
was
of
a
the
hooper in
WWE
NXT.
fumbled. Yeah, WWE fumbled her badly.
Yeah.
They really did. It was unfortunate.
And I seen freaking Cam, I don't know you seeing that Sayuri, she's taking a break from Stardom.
I saw that. I saw that. Look at Forbidden Door. I'm just saying.
Yuri versus Mercedes? Give me that, please, man. Give me that, man.
All right, Drew, who you guys your female wrestler of the year?
It's gonna be a toss between Stephanie back here and Mercedes Money. Those are my number ones for each promotion. But if you were to make me pick, I'm gonna have to go with Stephanie Bakir, double champion. I mean, she's been killing it with the matches every time she steps in the ring. I would say they're just it's more like a preference choice. I think I just like her more just because of like how she's being booked, rather than Mercedes of how she's been booked. It's more like that. Nothing against Mercedes because she's a phenomenal wrestler. That's how AEW, that's how indie promotions want to promote her, which I have no problem with that. Timeless Tony.
Oh yeah, I got.
Well, here's the thing though. I'd still pick Mercedes over Tony Storm.
Shout out my brother Alex.
But she's a strong number 2 though. Tony Storm.
Tony Storm shouldn't even be in the list.
Not even.
What?
Oh yeah, that's right. Shush is the one who was tired of Tony Storm always winning. I forgot. Yeah, that's right.
She ran the greatest AEW women's champion out the company, and now she's just tits this, fanny that. Like,
here we go.
I don't get why you. Whatever, bro.
Hey.
Whatever. It was funny. It was funny like the first few months, but now I'm tired. Like, just don't.
All right, so
I would say Mercedes is number 1 for AEW. Stephanie Bakir is number 1 for WWE. But I will personally pick Stephanie Bakir.
Respect that.
And she's probably my biggest riser this year too. Between her and Jacob Fox 2, easily Stephanie Bakir.
Oh, because
honorable mention Naomi.
Yeah, that's
Naomi.
A good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Naomi's been doing. I think she's got the best gimmick work right now. I think she's doing
character work. Yeah,
she's doing great.
If you
Which is surprising.
Twitter,
I'm surprised, but yeah.
If you
she's killing it on Twitter. Like
she's a troll, bro.
She's trolling on Twitter. I love it. I love
I'm
it.
very
more
surprised
of
she's got on a spotlight this year. Given who's in charge, but you know.
I knew that was coming. All right, but for me, obviously, is a given for WWE. Stephanie Bakir, like one of the craziest like runs in such a short amount of time. Matter of fact, I think this month marks 1 year since she's been signed with WWE. So just that rookie year for a women's wrestler is crazy. For AEW, that honestly is a tie for me between Toni Storm and Mercedes, just because Toni Storm having that phenomenal match with Mariah May at Revolution. Just her reign, crazy work. And Mercedes, just the belt collector. Like, this is the female Kurt Angle. Well, I'm not saying in ring ability. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying with the belt collecting. Yeah,
nobody ain't touching belt collecting Kurt Angle, bro.
Look at hey, don't hate towards Mercedes. I love Mercedes, bro. One of the great, to me, the greatest women's wrestler of all time. But hey, she ain't no Angle, right? Angle's a different breed.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is...
Oh yeah, Angle's a whole different breed for sure.
Yo, but we're talking about Breakout Star rising and everything like that. Let's get to it.
All right, I got to think about this one for a second. Thank God.
Let's do this.
Thank God I'm last.
For all the wrestling, we'll do one for the male and then one for the female. So smooth. Your male breakout and female breakout.
Okay, for the male, it's a tie between Dominic and Jacob.
Okay.
It's
those are good.
About Dominic Mysterio.
But if I had to pick one, definitely Dominic. Definitely.
I would say Dominic already broke out. Like, I would say, like,
well, if he did break out, you know what? Nah, Jacob. Jacob's the breakout.
He's definitely the biggest riser.
Yeah.
Like, he had from coming to the WWE roster and to becoming a U.S. champion is pretty insane. Yep. It took Dominic way more time to get a mid card title.
It did.
And he got over the fans more quickly than Dominic, because you gotta remember when Dominic.
That's true.
When he came to the WWE, no one saw the potential in him. Like, literally nobody. Like, he was just gonna be Rey Mysterio's candidate for a tag team championship, and that's it.
True.
Well, Jacob Fatu, we knew what he was going to be when he came to the roster, and then once he became the roster, he was just like an instant fan favorite right away.
Yeah,
literally the minute he stepped in that squared circle, he became a fan favorite.
Yeah,
that US Tyron's amazing. Sucks that it ended,
I love you Solo.
I want to say it's been amazing. He's not really done much.
I hate you Solo.
I mean, it's cool. It's been cool. I mean, he lost it. He should have had a little bit of a longer reign, but it makes sense.
I think it was a good first reign. I would say
it was
good start reign.
70 days, not too bad.
He only defended it once, no? Or did he?
No, he did. He defended it. He defended it in the Fatal 4-Way.
Fatal 4-Way.
That was a great match. That was a great match too.
Yep.
He defended it once.
That was the highlight of his.
Technically twice if you count Solo, but. He
had one successful.
I still think he's a breakout star for sure. Definitely.
Being undefeated for like a whole year.
Yep.
Perfect.
Without a doubt. And then for the female,
well, you know what? I do have one in mind, but keep your good.
Female's tough because
that's a tough one for the theme for the women because. Part of me wants to say Julia.
I've got a purple one for the females.
Part of me wants to say
Julia. I mean, hey, Julia.
You know what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna say Julia. Because
look at her now.
She's having her breakout right now. She just became the new women's United States champion. Shout out to her, and I think she'll do great things coming in the near future. Like a women's title in the near future.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Couple dream matches I would love to see. I would love to see her versus Becky eventually.
Now this is right here. I'm sorry
versus EO.
But DZ got a point here too. This is another one, but
Lyra's also a good one. Yeah,
there's a lot of
Lyra's also a good one. I could say Lyra as well.
I think Lyra is my women's breakout. Yeah.
It's between Julia and Lyra because they both had great breakouts. Like Lyra became the women's Intercontinental champion. For like a month or two, I believe.
I think the feud with Becky has definitely showed me a lot.
Definitely. So yeah, I say Lyra for sure.
Lyra for sure because
Lyra.
ever since getting drafted, she floated around in the mix. I know she went to the finals of King of the Ring last year or Queen of the Ring last year.
Yep.
And
Queen of the
obviously winning the
Ring.
mid-card, obviously winning the mid-card title or whatever. Yeah. She won the mid-card title. She held it for 6 months, so I call that a W.
6 months. Okay, yeah, 6 months. Thank you.
And people weren't really behind her at first too, but then she slowly started to get that support, and now she's basically a staple for that women's roster for WWE for the long term.
For me, breakout star of the year for me, I got a couple here. First one for the men. I think the obvious one for me. I got two of them. One, I have Kyle Fletcher, and the second one,
Kyle Fletcher.
I'm a huge Kyle Fletcher fan.
One, I have Kyle Fletcher, and the second one, I have. I know Kyle Fletcher kind of got
that cage match with him and Ospreay, bro. That elevated him, man. That was an insane fucking cage match.
No, that was a good cage match.
I know Kyle Fletcher technically got his big push last year, but this year he's just taking it to another level. I think he is easily. A top 5 in-ring worker on that. I think he's easily a top 5 worker on that AEW roster. And the fact that he comes out and he just gets booed up the building most weeks is just fucking unreal. Because he just has a very punchable face. So I like Kyle Fletcher in that spot.
He should be getting he needs to get a singles title soon.
ASAP. TNT title, whatever, international.
Don't worry, we're going to take that from Adam Cole. Adam Cole going to count his from Adam Cole.
We're going to take that from Adam Cole.
And then secondly, I have Kevin Knight. I think Kevin Knight has been...
Kevin Knight, that's a good one, too.
I think Kevin Knight has been a very welcome addition to AEW. The fact that he's come in and has been a contributor.
He's a hooper, bro. He is a hooper.
That's the
fact. My fear of him is that he might get lost in the shuffle at one point or another, but like he's still a great wrestler to watch, though.
Nah, that match he had with Ospreay, bro.
In Dynasty,
I think AEW was the perfect fit for him, especially because WWE wanted to be lame and just give him a tryout, bro. Like,
yeah. So I have Kevin Knight and Kyle Fletcher, and then for the women, WWE. And for the women, I think I got to go with Stephanie Vaquer with the way that Stephanie came into WWE, and the fact that it is very, very hard for people that do not speak the language as much to get over with WWE audiences because promos are a very big thing of what WWE does. And Stephanie, even though I say all the time that if you have a smart enough person writing the show or booking the show, you can emphasize somebody's strengths while hiding their weaknesses. Stephanie is not a strong promo, so they don't have Stephanie cutting. So they don't really have Stephanie cut a promo. You know, she should do the backstage shit where she goes like La Primera and all that shit. But she's not in the ring cutting long promos. That's not her strength because she's improving in English, but that's not her strength because English obviously is not her strongest language. Her strength is going in there and being a really, really good fucking wrestler.
Literally.
Been able to showcase Stephanie Vaquer. They've been able to showcase her being a really, really good wrestler. And Stephanie Vaquer has been able to get over because of it. I did not think she would be this over with the WWE audience this quickly, the way she has. And the fact that she's potentially...
Yeah, man.
And the fact that she's going to potentially be challenging for the Women's Championship at SummerSlam, their second biggest show of the year, does a lot. So for me, it's Stephanie.
Good choice. I will say this: Stephanie Vaquer has better mic skills than Ricochet. No, let me stop. All
right, granted, with Ricochet, he's actually getting better.
He's getting better.
He's getting better.
He's actually getting better in that regard.
On the ball, man, bro.
He's good at staying in character too. He's good at definitely staying in character, pissing the fans off. That's cool.
Nah, he is doing good as a heel. He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
But Shush, who you got for male and female breakout star of the year?
All right, I'll start female. I'm gonna go Sol Ruka. Speaks for herself.
Interesting.
I think she's still North American. I don't know. I don't watch NXT anymore, but
Yeah, I think
I'd
she's
say
still
her.
North.
What did I
Yeah.
go?
For male,
Go.
male's kind of tough because there's not really been that standout guy that I've seen. Shit. Yeah, the male one's a hard one for me. Yeah, come back to me on the male one.
All
I
right,
need to
all
think.
right. Deontay, who you got?
For male, I'm definitely gonna say Jacob. I mean, I've always liked, yeah, I always liked Jacob since he was in MLW. I feel
Same.
like when he was already in MLW, I feel like he was already gonna be good in like a big stage type situation. But yeah, when he joined the Bloodline, he was already basically the one of the most over people in that bloodline. More over than Solo,
Probably the most
more over
over.
than the Tonga brothers, all that. And then
Or
you could already see how charismatic he was, and yeah, he's definitely one of the most popular wrestlers in WWE right now. I thought his U.S. Title match with LA Knight was probably one of the few bright spots on that night one. And yeah, that face turn at Money in the Bank was real good. And like I said, I think he's going to be a world champion soon. He definitely deserves it. He's probably the most over wrestler and probably one of the most over wrestlers in WWE right now. They need to put a rocket up his ass because yeah.
pause.
Females, I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say Stephanie. I definitely had Megan Bain in mind because I liked a little of what Megan Bain has going on in AEW. I'm definitely gonna say Lyra. I'm definitely gonna say Lyra. When did she win the IC title? What was
January.
Yeah, the
January.
first Raw on
Yeah,
Netflix.
Raw on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I forgot she held it for like 6 months.
in the beginning, I didn't like it at first because they didn't know what they were doing. But that whole feud with Becky, it was definitely probably one of the few highlights of this year. I love that highlight so much. I think they stole the show and back to back. They stole the show in back to back pay per views.
Even more proof that Becky's the GOAT.
Yep.
Anyway.
And what was crazy, like everybody knew like she could go in the ring, but she really held her own against Becky when it came to their promo segment. She really did hold her own. So I think she's probably going to be one of the few bright spots in the women's division on down the line. She's probably going to get a world title soon. It depends on what they do, but yeah, what she did with Becky, it definitely does move her into the main, the main title picture.
Bet. Drew, male, female breakout star of the year.
Female, I'm going to give a curveball, Soroka for NXT. Just the fact that she's a North American champion. She's got the Speed Championship right now for just doing really amazing stuff. I think she's pretty underrated as of right now. I don't think she's getting a lot of record.
I love her finisher.
Yeah, I think she's doing phenomenal work. If you don't watch NXT, go watch Soroka, man. She's great. Male, I'm gonna say the obvious one, Jacob Fatu, for obvious reasons, like I said earlier, just because his rise from entering into the roster up until now has been nothing but amazing and just like extraordinary. Not a lot of guys who can just go to the main event storyline and get over from that and then get a mid card title in that short amount of time, and to get it off of a guy who's even more over potentially with LA Knight, and then take that title reign, make it out something that was pretty decent for 70 days. I mean, that guy is going to be a staple for WWE for the next 5 years, without a doubt. So those are my two right there.
I've got my pick now.
You got your pick? All right.
Yeah.
Give your pick. I'll go. Then we'll move on to the next one.
I'll say, I don't know if it'd be a breakout, but again, I would say Solo because this time last year, he was kind of bland, but this year he's
been
I don't know
definitely
what's
better.
happened.
Yeah.
He's definitely improved. He's a lot funnier, more entertaining.
He has a better personality.
Yeah, he's
I think about that
showing-
meme of him with the 2 tickets like to the side.
Yeah, he's done
Yeah.
that. The Penta walk, the LA Night thing, the little dances he does.
Yeah.
The mocking, what was it? Motor City Machine Gun.
Motor City.
Yeah, Jacob Batu as well. Like he's
Yeah, he's definitely becoming like I like watching him on TV. That's for sure.
and I can generally see him becoming world champion. Not anytime soon.
That's
but I
Cam's
can definitely
favorite
see him
wrestler, though. Solo. He loves Solo.
Look
Yeah,
at
Solo's great.
don't you watch Ezekiel Jackson matches on YouTube?
Nah, that's you. You
Is
be
it
watching
Elias?
Kazardi. You be
If you just
watching
say
Kazardi
Ezekiel
matches.
Jax, Jesus, that is a throwback.
This is what you call domination.
Nah, but for me, male breakout of the year is definitely got to go to Jacob. That man's been having a hell of a run for the past year, from June 2024 to now. The U.S. title win at Mania, that great match he had with LA Knight, the work with the Bloodline, just the promo skills, the character work. He's going to be a megastar. He's going to
I'd
be.
probably say he's got the best
I would
promos,
have
I'd say.
I would have picked Kyle Fletcher, but Kyle Fletcher doesn't have a title in his grasp yet, which is like my question is, when is Kyle Fletcher going to get a title?
I
bro?
told you we gonna get one. Adam Cole is counting his days. We gonna circle back.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Jacob Fletcher, I would say Kyle Fletcher even without a title, because he's been doing some great work too. Shout out to him.
For female breakout star of the year, it's a tie for me between Stephanie and Julia. If we're comparing the whole year, their rise in NXT has just been insane. Julia winning the NXT Women's Championship, having a solid reign with that, solid matches. Same thing with Stephanie, like I said earlier, for female star of the year. Yeah, they just been killing it. I don't really need to get into too much depth about it. Their work speaks for itself. They're going to keep on being some of the best women's wrestlers in the world today. So, yeah.
I wouldn't say Julia, because I feel like they were already pushing Julia from the start, if we're going to be honest here.
True. I know it's her rookie. I know she is a rookie too, so that's what I kind of consider with like breakout as well, kind of. But yeah, I see it. But next one, we got tag team of the year. We'll just fly through this one real quick, yeah, because we still got a couple of them. We still got match of the year, pay-per-view of the year, face turn, heel turn, moment of the year, booker of the year, and we still got to do the Seth Rollins discussion. So tag team of the year, Smooth.
I don't know if it's early to say, but I got it. I think it's Motor City Machine Guns. I was there. Believe it or not, I was there when they won the tag titles, and the crowd went crazy. The crowd went crazy that day, because I was there, and I have a good feeling, if done right, that they'll do a lot of good things in the future.
Bet. Cam.
I think he's not there.
I think he's AFK. I know Shush is AFK too, so we'll just jump to Deontay and then move on. So Deontay.
This is a toughie too.
It is a tough one.
It is tough. As the tag team division is.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
I got my answer.
I saw a comment say DIY or Street Profits.
Yeah,
They're doing. Yeah, DIY has been doing really good.
I probably do. Yeah,
I see. Yeah,
Profits, but yeah, I'm sorry, man. The tag team division has been so bad, and it's from both. It's from both
AEW and WWE. Yeah, I know.
Both of them.
TNA too. I don't know. It's
literally. The tag team I've definitely been watching a lot recently is Violence is Forever from DPW.
Yep.
I'm sorry. They've been so fun to watch because the main scene tag team division has been terrible. Besides that ladder match, nothing in the tag team division has been going on.
Yeah, they need to set the tag team division. They need to fix that tag team division.
You know, the Hurt Business, you know, they're the tag champs, but they're literally entrance merchants. Like they don't.
We hurt people. We hurt people. We hurt people.
And what's that thing? And what's that thing that said? And then the bell rings.
Literally.
They don't help.
The only thing interesting about them was that
I think it just shows the state of AEW when it comes to our tag team division, because if those guys are going to be squashing like guys on a weekly basis, it's just like, damn, is it really that bad?
It shouldn't.
I'm hoping
what they need to do.
I think they're portrayed as a very powerful tag team. It's not bad, but to like get them over like as that, but like if you like, I don't know, they need to work on.
I'm hoping Jet Speed wins. I'm hoping Jet Speed wins the tag title soon.
I know who my tag team here is.
No, but Bobby Lashley shouldn't be in the tag team division. He should be in the world title picture. He's not a tag team wrestler.
Put Shelton Benjamin back as a singles wrestler. Bobby.
No, Bobby Lashley should be in the world title picture. Put Cedric in or
Cook more.
That's right.
Someone else. It don't have to be another black wrestler, but I know Tony Khan's not Triple H, but put anyone.
But Bobby's not putting nobody over. Like he's not helping.
He's just beating up dudes. That's all he's been doing. Like just beating up.
Even been pinned.
Watching them.
Has he even been pinned since he's been in AEW?
No. Oh no. Nope.
Yeah, sure. I guess.
We hurt people.
So it was Deontay, Drew, did you? I forgot. Did you give yours already?
No, I haven't. But if I were to pick, it's got to be Motor City Machine Guns. I have a bias for them just because they have been in the game for so long. But yeah, they always put out bangers every day of the week, and I think at the moment it just kind of shows like the landscape of tag team champions at the moment, with not only just WWE but also with TNA. I mean, it's the name is right now. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like the name but like. I'm not a big fan of the younger brother of Nick Namath. Let's just put it that way. But with AEW, I mean, we could put the Hurt Business on here, but the problem with them is just like we're not getting entertaining matches. We're getting a lot of squash matches more than like 5-star bangers. You know what I mean? So I can't put them right there just because it's great to be a powerful tag team, but in the case of the Hurt Business, we're not getting competitive matches. We're getting just straight squash matches. They're basically squash after squash. Yeah, and I think
with the tag team division, poor New Day yesterday, man.
Shout out to them. I think they had momentum going with this new thing, but it just kind of lost its momentum.
I ain't gonna lie. That was their worst title reign.
That was their worst boring.
They completely dropped the ball with the New Day heel turn. I just want to say this: that Mania win was
New Day usually have the best title
Mania
reign,
win. It's just been
terrible.
They
noticed something about
you could tell they definitely didn't put a priority on that
Talk about tag team.
Terrible.
Hey,
have you not noticed?
Hey, I know another tag team.
Now they're just background characters at this point. I hate to say it,
but
I know another
the New Day
ain't done shit since they turned heel either.
Yeah, but it's the New Day. That meant to be one of the best tag teams of all time. But since Triple H taken over, the New Day.
I mean, they broke the record for the most tag team reigns of all time for WWE.
Good for them, but that was their only accomplishment during that reign.
That's it. That and the moment in WrestleMania. It's just, you know what I mean? It's one of those reigns where you only remember the moment when they won it, and that was it. Everything else was forgettable.
I know another tag team that ain't been doing shit since they turned heel either.
Go on.
I'm looking at you, FTR. I'm looking at you, FTR. Cash. I'm looking at you, FTR. Y'all ain't done shit either.
Yeah, because they're just waiting for Edge. I mean, Cope. That's all. I don't know
Crazy
where
thing
it
is,
was.
I used to play their theme song a lot. FTR. I used to play their theme song a lot. And
Back on this titles, this tag titles. Could Triple H had not put the tag titles on anyone else but the Judgment Day? I feel like it would have been better on anybody else but the Judgment Day.
You ain't got no tag team.
The Creed's right there, but you know.
the Creeds, they had the Creeds. They had New Catch Republic. They had who else?
Bro,
Who else?
New Catch Republic.
Yeah,
You catch
nah,
They fumbled. Nah, they
They
fumbled.
fumbled them. They fumbled them.
Massive.
They
But nah,
fumbled them.
It's been a common thing with WWE. It's like just
I've
fumbling.
not done my tag
They're
team
just
yet, but
they fumble tag teams. I
Yeah,
can't
that-
even think of any other tag teams besides some of them. Besides,
you know that one tag
I can't
team,
think of
you
any
know,
other tag teams besides the ones that I know.
Because it's starting to become a blur to the point where it's like you kind of expect it at this point.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Tag team wrestling right now in 2025 has been very mediocre.
Tag team wrestling's dead.
I wouldn't say
It's
it's all
time
the
to
way
say
dead.
it.
I miss 2021 with the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros.
I wouldn't.
and
Yeah, I
the
wouldn't say
Faces,
it's all
bro.
the way dead. It just needs a spark again. I feel like it's just been very mediocre. Like it's just been a bore to
already-
watch.
listen, they had a my tag team D as Braxium, but they've just
They need to do better. I mean, I want Fraxium to have a great run. I want the YA6 to have a great one. I want fucking.
you know that's not gonna happen.
I know.
I know.
No shit. That's why Triple H doesn't know what the fuck to do at this point. I don't know.
He can't book spooky characters.
TKO doesn't know what to do either.
He can't
so.
book fucking tag teams, bro. He doesn't know what he's doing. Like
He can't
the
book
fact
anything.
that
What am I saying? He can't book.
that SmackDown tag team titles weren't in WrestleMania 41. They clearly could have stolen the show.
I'm so,
That just shows
gonna say
what kind of priority he pulls into the tag team division alone.
I'm
He
gonna
does
say
not
something
give a damn
controversial.
about that tag division.
I'm
And
gonna
sucks
say
to
something
say.
controversial. The SmackDown tag division, I think it's overrated. I'm bored of it. It feels like it's been the same tag team matches, mostly machine guns with DIY.
I just don't think they're
Street
unique.
Profits
The
versus-
storylines aren't unique. They just kind of feel bland. They're like the same
Yeah.
cookie cutter bullshit that we've seen on a weekly, monthly basis since
Yeah,
the revitalized tag team division.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm not gonna lie. Tag team wrestling has been very mediocre. Like this is
Still got
probably the
Akon
worst I've
Down Under
seen
as a
tag team. This is the worst I've seen tag team wrestling in a long ass time. So I'm just gonna say, let's just move on. Let's go on to the next one. So we got pay-per-view of the year. So smooth.
Pay-per-view of the year.
Well,
What is your
AEW
pay-per-view
is
here?
definitely taking the take cake on this one.
Yeah,
bro.
that's easy.
Yeah, well, I just want to see. We'll see everybody's answers. We'll go down the list. So
I like Double or Nothing this year. It was pretty good.
I love it.
Double or Nothing. I want to say Double or Nothing
It-
was pay-per-view of the year. It's pay-per-view of the year
It's
so
two
far.
for me. That being the Elimination Chamber. I think Elimination Chamber 2024. I think that is one of the best pay-per-views WWE's ever produced. Period, like ever.
It was awesome.
Ever.
And we had a match of the year candidate, like at least two of them. It's insane.
Right?
Mm.
Chamber 20.
That freaking match between Will Ospreay and Adam
have,
Page,
Double or
bro.
Nothing.
Just perfect.
That was easily the best Double or Nothing show since 2021, and that show.
Cook.
Look,
Because there hasn't been that many good Double or Nothing shows. It's been really
past
hit
3
or
years.
miss.
Bro, 2023.
That was
Terrible. That was a terrible show.
That shit was ass.
the main event
Yeah.
sucked, dude. With Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, MJF, and what was the other one?
I love
Sammy. It was. I think it was
Sammy
MJ.
Guevara,
The four pillars.
Yeah,
It was the
It was
four
the four
pillars.
pillars.
it was
AEW at the
ass,
time.
bro. Like it was ass. Like,
They're not even the four pillars anymore. No.
I think I fell asleep
No.
during that show. I'm not gonna lie. I think I fell asleep during that.
I don't think that the four pillars match was not that bad.
It was cool, but I mean, I still fell asleep during that show.
I say the
But,
match was It was alright. It did good for what it was. It would have
Yeah.
been better if it was elimination, but other than that, it was
So Cam, you said Elimination Chamber 2025 and Double or Nothing 2025.
Yeah.
Bet.
Ooh.
Shush. How about you?
chamber.
I'm gonna say insert any AEW pay-per-view that's happened so far. They've all been good. I'd say.
even better than
I've
WrestleMania
enjoyed-
41, man. WrestleMania 41 was a stinker.
40, yeah, WrestleMania disappointed me this year.
Yeah, no, Royal Rumble
Well, night 2.
I will say this: the two eventful things of WrestleMania for him was the LA Knight and Jacob Fatu match. Also the 3-way match between CM Punk's Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. That was a great twist, great ending of a night one.
That ending was
but
fun.
Also something that wasn't even in the match was also Karrion Kross after the show. I mean, those are the main 3 things. Outside of that, it was kind of like a blur. The Tiffany Stratton match.
You forgot El Grande versus Rey Fenix.
Oh God!
No, we didn't. Shut up.
We didn't forget that.
Was not a big fan of that for Rey Fenix for his first WrestleMania to lose like that. Not a big fan.
He deserved it.
He didn't deserve that.
What could have been for Rey Fenix, man?
Dude, ever since that loss, he hasn't been booked well at all, man. The only way you're gonna revitalize this run for him is if you put him and Penta together and win tag division.
That's what they gotta do.
I'm gonna be so real.
I guess they're
when Phoenix was drafted, I knew it wasn't gonna work out because I'm not even saying it because I don't like Triple H. Like you could have seen him from a mile away. They weren't gonna.
Speaking of Rey Fenix, we got Andrade and Rey Fenix against Fraction this Friday.
Ooh.
According to the people that were there live for the taping.
Hey, whoa.
That match
was what?
That match
what?
Hey, I'm not surprised that they're 4 great wrestlers, but
But pay-per-view year, Deontay, what you got?
It would have been, AEW Revolution, but that
was, I will say that if it wasn't for the ending and if they were to switch titles, man. Oh my God, that would have been a whole different thing. When a pay-per-view, it was so bad when everything else was overshadowed. That was so great, and it made the main event
it's bad because you had
they had so many great matches that night too.
Fletcher and Ospreay,
amazing match.
Tony versus Mariah, that was so great.
What else?
Kenny and
Takeshita,
yeah.
All those
even though that was kind of an underwhelming match, but they still put on a pretty good show.
Okada versus Brody King, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Too many bangers. But nah, I agree with Cam. I mean, Elimination Chamber 2025 was real good. Real good.
But yeah.
In my opinion, I'm gonna go with Double or Nothing 2025. We made a video, we're not streaming, but me and a few of us made a little video with drinking and everything, and I'm not gonna lie, we had a good ass time, even though a lot of us left early because we know how AEW pay-per-views is, but from start
I don't even want to talk about the state of fucking WWE pay-per-views because they piss me off. It's like it's either it's just too short, and it's just like, what are we doing? It doesn't even feel like a pay-per-view anymore, bro. It just feels like it gets littered with ads all the fucking time.
But yeah, from top to bottom for Double or Nothing, I'm not gonna lie, I was on the edge of my seat. I'm having a good time. Yes, there was alcohol in my system, but I don't give a damn.
Yeah,
I feel. All right, did you get your pay-per-view on your way? Because I'm surprised nobody mentioned this one.
Yeah, go ahead, Drew.
Wrestle Dynasty. Both nights. Yeah. I'm surprised none of you said it, dude. We got Kid versus Kenny Omega, Sabre versus Ricochet. I mean, this was a great match, like card all together, man. We had Kenosuke Takeshita. We had the main event of the night. We also had David Finlay versus Brody King. I don't get the hate behind David Finlay. I think he gets a little bit too much overhate, but he did pretty good against Brody King that night. I don't know, man. Top to bottom, and then you got the tag match that night with who was it? Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rose versus who was it? I can't think of who it was, but that was a pretty good match as well. Very underrated. I think a lot of people kind of slept on this pay-per-view, and it had a lot of bangers.
I definitely thought Wrestle Dynasty was a top 5 pay-per-view this year.
I think it was my personal favorite, especially that Kid versus Omega match. Oh my god, that was it. It definitely elevated Kid's stock and got into AEW, but also it showed that Omega can still go, bro, even in the highest stages of in the Tokyo Dome. But if you were to tell me which one, like out of like let's say AEW, because I'm not gonna mention WWE because they've been really disappointing this year, I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna have to go with Double or Nothing without a doubt.
Respect that. So yeah, me, because WWE has been very piss poor when it comes to pay-per-views this year. I'm not gonna lie. Royal Rumble was mid. Elimination Chamber, probably the best one. WrestleMania, night 1, horrible. Night 2, a lot better. That's not
Night
saying
one.
much,
The reason why it was redeemed was because of that main event.
The main event literally salvaged everything. Like just salvage. Try to salvage.
Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. That was a fucking.
Out of the Triple H regime,
they made me not like Flair even more. Like,
bro, how do you drop the ball on a Tiffany Stratton Women's World title?
When you literally have her cash in the beginning of the year, have her cash in, have her, present herself as the top champ, just to have that match with Flair and now just sink to the bottom of obscurity. Because literally, like everybody's saying, they don't care for the run no more. They don't care for the reign. They want Naomi to cash in and win. I want her to as well.
That should be the plan because you've only defended that title once on pay-per-view, and it was against Charlotte at Mania. You haven't did anything else. Everything is on a SmackDown. We seen too many you versus Nia Jax. I'm hoping that junk is over because I'm getting tired of it. But y'all haven't
done shit for the whole year.
Nothing, bro.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, speaking of, you guys seen the shit going on with Britt Baker?
Yeah.
Her Instagram posting and everything.
Britt Baker posted on Instagram something about a bottle of water. A bottle of water can be $1 at a supermarket, $3 at the gym, $5 at the movies, and $6 on the plane.
I can't take her seriously. I'll be real.
I saw that post.
Hey, look at hey, Triple H.
Well, especially what she did in AEW in the locker room too, dude. I just can't take her seriously. Her reputation is completely tanked.
Triple H, please sign Britt Baker. Y'all can have it for all I care. Please sign.
Yep. I mean, Triple K gonna drop the ball on her too.
She's your favorite person.
I think Britt Baker sucks.
Relax.
Baker is awful.
She's a piece of shit human being. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I can't lie.
I used to be a fan of her, not anymore. I could care less about that.
Especially the whole Thunder Rosa thing and what she said. I'm not gonna say what she said, but if you know what she said to Thunder Rosa and some other talents,
not even that.
Yeah.
Not even that is a talent. She sucks.
I'm trying to
figure out that match. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all wait
with Mercedes Moné in England?
That's what I'm saying, bro. That match with Mercedes, like, bro.
That was such a terrible match, and it wasn't even on Mercedes at all. I mean, everybody knew that. It was just Britt Baker. After that injury, she's not the same wrestler like she used to.
I watched that match live, and I didn't even realize it ended. That's how much I didn't pay attention to the match.
I know it was bad.
I was like, oh shit.
How do you?
I would say Mercedes Moné's not reign. What's it? Tenure with AEW. That's easily the worst match she's had. It's not even because of her. It's because of her opponent.
How do you go from most improved wrestler in 2021 to like bottom of the scale?
Yeah, she was so over. She had the world.
Her ego got in the way. I will say that. But
I don't even think that ego. It's just I don't like her run. Like,
hey, it's a couple things that allowed that to happen. One, the AEW women's roster in 2021. We all know that roster was dog shit. So
yeah, like she didn't do much.
Dog shit. So Britt Baker stood out like a sore thumb. And so Britt Baker stood out because the rest of the division was shit. Meanwhile, she was the best.
Before AEW, she was big in NWA, right? If I'm not mistaken, or just the Indies in general.
I think NWA or Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
She comes in. They try to present her as the biggest star in the company, but she
she couldn't get over with the fans.
But I do feel sorry for her, though,
maybe, but definitely not the majority.
Turn her heel, and her turning heel and getting hurt was the best thing that could have happened to her because she was then able to show her personality.
And that That's a great point too, is because
that is true. DZ do got a point.
That is a great point because, like, if you really think about it, she just came off fresh of an injury. You would think that she would get a couple matches on Wednesday nights and then just like kind of get the ring rust off, but no, they just kind of like, all right, here you go. You get to have the biggest match of the year for us.
But here's my thing too. Didn't she get suspended before the Mercedes match because of an altercation backstage with like MJF?
MJF. So she said something to MJF. MJF got pissed. He punched a wall. It had to do with something about his girlfriend during the time.
She said something to Alicia too. And
Alicia, I think.
The ring announcer. Yup.
Yeah, and that's MJF's girlfriend.
It pissed MJF off to where he punched a wall and they both got.
And he broke his. I think he broke his hand, or at least he like fractured it just a little bit, but not enough to keep him out of action.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, she got blackballed out of WWE.
Not just AEW. She's blacklisted from everywhere else. Dude. Nobody wants her. I don't blame them.
Damn.
She did it to herself. She has no one to blame but herself.
She was the cancer of the locker room.
She was. She did it to herself. Like, you stupid people win stupid prizes, and if you don't clean up your shit, and you're gonna get what you deserve.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's such a shame,
but back to pay-per-view of the year. So I'll give my pay-per-view of the year. I gotta go with Double or Nothing. That show from start to finish. Like, I've made a video about it. I talked with Deontay about it on the pod. That got me back into AEW. That's sparked my love for AEW again. So that's why I've been a lot more in touch with AEW in more recent times than I ever was a couple months ago.
I wish I was on there with me, TJ, and Ant that night. Hella fun on the fuck. That
was a fun because we were doing a drinking game too. That was fun all across the board, bro. Just the matches. Will Ospreay versus Hangman as the main event.
I think about that match like
I think it was FTR versus.
I'm not even kidding you, bro.
It was FTR versus Daniel Garcia and who was it with Daniel Garcia? I forgot.
I actually had fun watching that match.
That was a fun match. That was really fun.
I can pull up the pay-per-view.
Mercedes and Jamie.
Mercedes and Jamie. That's the Mercedes and Jamie. The freaking Anarchy in the Arena. We literally said that's the best Anarchy in the Arena.
Anarchy in the Arena, yes.
That was perfect.
Kenosuke Takasha, Kyle Fletcher, and Josh Alexander.
At the bodies at the floor.
That was a great 6-man, but it should have been.
Let's be honest here. It's the undisputed era. But then we had the Anarchy in the Arena match. Oh my god, that was insane. We also had Tony Storm versus Mina Shakira. That was an underrated match. But also too, we had the pay-per-view debut of Mike Bailey.
Speedball, Mike Bailey.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Speedball versus Okada. Oh,
that was good. I remember that.
Top to bottom was just a great collective group.
But that main event, bro, like that was like one of the best wrestling matches I've seen. Storytelling, just in-ring ability.
Just the chemistry those two have, man.
Like, I know we have our gripes about Ospreay and everything. I know some of us shit on Ospreay, but that was legitimately a great storytelling, fun-filled match.
I mean,
and it wasn't like he was doing spots for the sake of doing spots. Like, the spots made sense.
He was trying to one-up Hangman. They were literally neck and neck with each other.
The problem with Ospreay is people hate on him because he's still doing shit that, you still see junior heavyweights doing. But
but even then, who cares, bro? As long as his body can handle it, so be it, man. He's an entertaining guy to watch. And I know he runs his mouth on the internet too, but like at the end of the day, man, he's the staple of that company, whether you like him or not.
That is true. Yeah. Very, very true. Yeah. But yeah, my pay-per-view of the year for WWE, Elimination Chamber, by far the best WWE pay-per-view.
The whole time.
I was on the edge of my seat in the finale, bro. Like, I was like, what is gonna happen? Like, I have no idea.
And then Double or Nothing for AEW. That's my pay-per-views of the year.
Can I go back to Will Ospreay for that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
The only thing that annoys me about Will Ospreay, he uses like the Styles clap and the Styles forearm like it's not a finisher, which annoys me. Apart from that, love Will Ospreay.
I'm starting to become a fan of Ospreay. Like, I know I have my little, critiques and everything, but I'm starting to like warm up to him.
He'll get his world title soon. It's inevitable.
But all right.
I know it's coming soon. I think I feel like a lot of fans are wanting Tony Khan to like go ahead and push him like way too early. And I'm like, yeah, but
let him get
it right now.
Yeah, let him get what do you call it? Let him get his feet wet. Let the United States audience just like know who he is, just get a feel of who he is in AEW. Like, set the standard for him. Boom.
Who, Ospreay?
Ospreay, yeah. I mean, people know who Ospreay is, but like, let him get a lot more over, and then boom, give him the world title.
The U.S. audience have already been accustomed to where he is. It's been pretty consistent for like a year since he's debuted. He comes out and like he legitimately gets like one of, if not the loudest reaction show.
That is true. That is true.
Like on top of that, if you go to like AW Live events, his merch usually sells out. Like his merch, he moves a lot of merch for him. That's why he gets like 1,000 new shirts. So like they're accustomed to who the hell he is.
So he's got motion then. That's what's up.
Oh, I've just seen DZ's comment. I wish I said something now.
Wait, what happened?
DZ's comment about Brit. Apparently, it wasn't her fault.
Oh yeah. But yeah, we got 2 more categories, so we get to the Seth Rollins discussion because I want to get to that soon. So we'll just speed run through these last 2. So we're gonna go moment of the year. So Smooth.
Moment of the year when Cena turned heel.
Easily.
Cena turning heel was something we never thought would happen in the big 2025, and when it happened, the internet went crazy. The internet went crazy. This is
unanimous.
I think it is unanimous. I mean, if I had to give a top 3, it goes Cena turns heel, Seth Rollins aligning with Paul, and then Stephanie becoming double champion. That's my top 3 right there. Those are my top 3 favorite moments.
I would take out Stephanie.
Exactly.
I would take out the Stephanie part for me. Don't know what I'll put in. I might go biased and just say Blake Monroe's debut.
Okay.
I'll put that in there.
No, that's good. That's good.
You know what? I'll give my own personal one. Ricky Saint's debut in NXT. That was unexpected. That was, dude. When I saw that, I didn't see it live, but like I saw the clip, I'm like, oh my god, he's actually here. Like that was a crazy. That's in my top 3. Outside of Seth turning heel and Cena turning heel too, like that was a great moment for me because I've always been a big Ricky Starks / Saints fan since 2020. So seeing him in NXT was like huge, and plus him just getting the short end of the stick by AEW because he's friends with somebody that's main event in WWE with like the tribalist stuff. It's like he did, and the whole Adam Copeland thing, like he deserved that. He's too good of a talent just to get buried and not get put on the show. So once he got released and he got to NXT literally 24 hours within his contract being terminated with AEW, it was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, he jumped right on that.
Yeah, and it was a great moment too.
Me, I would most definitely say, 1, it would definitely be Cena, obviously. 2, I think I would say R-Truth getting released. I think yes.
Oh yeah, that was a big deal.
And him getting released and then coming back 1 week later, that was
nobody expected that to happen. Nobody.
Yeah, because I feel like a great locker room guy. Everybody loved him. All the wrestlers, all the fans.
Veteran of the business.
It was just like the whole Kofi thing back in 2018. It was the whole like we want Cody back in 2024. It's like the thing. The fans spoke and
we want truth. We want truth, and it happened.
And then Triple H tried to claim that as his own.
Yeah, Triple H. Yeah, he's always part of the show. He's part of the show.
We all know. Triple H looked in the locker and said, "We've got too many blacks. Let's release the old."
Okay, all right, okay, all right.
Number 3 for me would probably be Jay winning the Rumble. I think everybody had. Everybody had.
I guess I like that just because it was unexpected.
Oh yeah, Jay winning the Rumble, that was shocking. We all thought it was going to be Cena, but
no. You know what's crazy?
Everybody thought Punk. Other wrestlers, nobody.
I thought it was going to be Roman. But,
Nah, that was the same day that the freaking Luca and AD trade happened,
Mhm.
man.
Oh yeah, you
Oh
remember that?
yeah,
That was
something.
a crazy day. I remember that. I was at work when both those things happened. Actually, I was in the car watching the pay-per-view in my car because I just got out. I'm like, all right, who's gonna win it? And I was like in the edge of my seat like this in my car ride. I'm like, oh my god.
But yeah, Jey Uso, I did not expect them to win that. I did not. That was a curveball. I thought they were gonna have Cena win it so it could be a 3-time, but then
They
Jey
had the
pushing them off.
He-Man win. He was.
What?
I thought Cena was gonna tie with Steve Austin, but no. Steve Austin is still. He still holds that
we all know
record.
why. Like, he should have won, but for some reason, and then he beats Gunther and has a shit reign, and then, yeah.
All right, we got the last category before we move on to the discussion.
Oh
So
shit! Match of the year. Fuck.
you could do one for
Wait, I thought you had Booker
WWE
of the Year.
Booker of the Year. Oh, I had that on, but since we're on a time constraint, well, here's the thing: we had a time constraint, so we're just gonna move on. We're just gonna do this last one and go to the discussion. So,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Smooth match of the year. You could do one for WWE and then one for AEW. We'll do that for everybody here.
One for AEW. You gonna lie for one for AEW would probably have to be. I think it was Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. That fucking steel cage match was insane.
That was an insane match.
That fucking steel cage match was mad insane.
I was just on the. I couldn't believe the Spanish fly from the top cage. That sticks out to me the most, bro. It was insane. Like I was like, no. I remember when they set it up, and I was thinking like, no, they're actually gonna do it, aren't they? And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what?
Nah, it was a brutal match. It was bloody. Yeah, those two went to war.
And it made Kyle
former
Fletcher
best friends, now enemies. Went at it.
And people say that AEW can't tell stories, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here.
They could tell They could tell stories.
It's just people who are like marks.
People that don't watch the product.
Like IWCP, like they are like, oh, the AEW can't tell stories. They can't build up storylines or feuds. Like that bullshit. That means you haven't watched the product.
That's what I'm saying.
For me,
and then for WWE, I might have to come back to that one for WWE.
Good ones.
AEW for me, it's Hangman and Ospreay from Double or Nothing. WWE, it is Seth, Roman, and Punk from WrestleMania.
I'll just say off the bat that
Didn't
those are
catch my mind.
Right.
Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah,
those
Punk,
are my two
Roman,
right there.
And
Punk,
Roman, and Rollins. That's my answer for WWE. Punk, Rollins, Roman. Match of the year right now for WWE so far.
All right, Shush, who you got?
No, AEW, there are so many I could pick. Anarchy in the Arena, any Ospreay match. But Hangman and Ospreay, probably my favorite match of the year so far. WWE, again, there's not really been one that's stood out. I mean, I'll probably go Seth and Punk in the cage.
Ooh, no, that
one's good. I think that was the first.
But
that's the first episode of Raw.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But it definitely wasn't better than Fletcher and Ospreay in their cage match. It was
Fletcher and Ospreay. That was a lot better than that one.
But still, it told a great story. We had Roman back. Now he's gone again.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Roman came back also. Yeah.
Even the 4-way at Mania. Also, I like that one. Well done one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a great match. Yeah.
That's a good one. Deontay, what do you got?
It would have been Ospreay versus Takeshita at Spring Breakthrough. Yeah, it would have been them, but we just had to see Ospreay versus Hangman at Double or Nothing, so it kind of messed it up for them.
That's my third favorite match of the year.
Yep.
That's my second.
Notice how it's all Ospreay. Like that's the thing.
Ospreay and Hangman.
Like him or hate him, you cannot deny this man can put on a show.
Mind you, he just put on.
Yeah, any match with Ospreay this year is like.
Mind you, he just put on.
Not just this year, but years prior. But
people,
yeah, people still hate on the guy.
Literally, he just put on a few weeks ago with Swerve. Literally, that was the
he put on
free television, 5-star classic, like
getting a random, well, not a random Wednesday, but just a Wednesday night Dynamite. We getting Swerve versus Ospreay. Like, come on, man. For WWE, it's probably between Sammy and KO.
And yeah, that's a good one. That's
a great one.
The three-way ladder match.
The three-way ladder match.
Oh, for a SmackDown.
Okay, yeah, like I remember that. The fact that they didn't put that on the WrestleMania
should have been at Mania, man. Should have been at Mania, without a doubt.
I remember that. Like, that was such a great match. It's like, bro, this is a WrestleMania caliber match. You mean to tell me you couldn't fit that on the card? All right. Shush, I think your point with Triple H stands. He doesn't know how to book.
100%. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's lost his head.
Oh, that Netflix shit is gonna fucking prove it.
You know what I'm about to do? I'm about to make Shush on 2K and just have him face Triple H. Put it in a simulation.
Do it.
With Tony Khan as his manager.
You should have seen my reaction to the El Grande stuff on Raw. I hated that.
Bro, that made no sense.
Oh,
next thing you know, we see a picture of Chad Gable having surgery. I'm like, bro.
No, after I seen that segment, I turned off Raw and went to sleep.
Jesus.
I don't blame you. I didn't even turn it on. I was just too busy in free agency.
Luchador live today in El Grande Americano. How dare y'all?
So Ludwig Kaiser's El Grande?
No.
Yes, and then
it's Mark Henry.
Right, El Grande Americano.
Can we
It's
stop
Luther
this shit,
Reigns.
please.
I thought it was.
I just want it gone.
I thought it was Kurt Angle. I thought it was secretly Kurt Angle.
Y'all were saying it was Chad Gable this entire time.
Ludwig has been lurking on Raw. Like, bro, actually have him in like a segment or let him do a promo. Like, come on.
Let him be in the mid-card picture. Let him try to get the Intercontinental title or something.
Bro, El Grande is his own entity, bro. Leave that man alone.
We're not doing this.
Maybe El Grande's Jack Swagger now.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
If you play
wrestler.
Check 1, 2.
The only thing good about him is his theme song. That's it.
Yo, shout out G Baby. Yo, because we're in a chat. Me and Cam are in an Instagram chat, and we have a fellow content creator by the name of G Baby. Shout out to him. He came to the chat talking about, yo, the Jack Swagger theme, the old one, Get On Your Knees, is a classic. It's a banger.
On your knees.
I'm sorry. Cam, don't give me that look, bro. You know Get On Your Knees is a nice theme song, bro. Come on now.
I don't think it's about Swagger.
Mo and Malik too, bro.
Song I don't care for. I think Patriot is his best thing.
Oh, hell no. Get on your knees.
You talking about We the People?
I know I got you. And I want you.
Y'all remember when he used to do the push-ups? He used to do the thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the pyro. I'm like, bro.
Cam, you telling me you prefer We the People over On Your Knees?
Okay.
You prefer We the People over On Your Knees? I mean, We the People, but still.
But nah, this man over here doing the push-ups, getting the pyro. I'm like, bro, why is Jack Swagger getting pyro out of all fucking wrestlers, bro?
Exactly.
Everybody that's watching
dude is
right
bland, and he's getting
with a dunce cap. Just to let everybody know, that was Triple H with a dunce cap. Okay, I'm not trying to get copyright here. All right, but
wait, you can get in trouble for that. I didn't know.
Yes,
I didn't.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. But he's in a dunce cap. Okay. But my match of the year I already said. Triple threat, both triple threat, women and men at Mania. The EO versus Rhea versus Bianca, and Seth versus Roman versus CM Punk. And then for AEW, Will Ospreay versus Hangman Page. Great matches. Great matches. But yeah, that is it for the mid-year wrestling awards. Can't wait till we get into December to do the end of the year awards. That's going to be fun, just like we did this past year. But now we're getting into the second half of the show. We got to talk about Seth Rollins, man. He's been the talk of the town this whole, slandering negative comments towards him. I ain't going for it. So we got to address this.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because, I haven't been looking at Twitter a lot recently because, I've been locked in on the NBA offseason for
Same, yeah.
So what the heck? What slander has been going on about the Visionary? Because there's no way.
So I got actually written down. I got a couple things written down just so I used it as a reference. All right. So one of the things, first off, Seth Riders. People are comparing Seth Rollins' faction to the Death Riders.
Oh, hell no. 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 Not even close.
But let me keep going down the list because I have a lot of, Seth Rollins is overrated. Seth Rollins will never be Roman Reigns. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed aren't being elevated. Seth Rollins doesn't know how to elevate. Rollins is not like Triple H with Evolution. Yep. Seth Rollins is trying to be like Triple H with Evolution, but it's not working. Like he'll never be Triple H.
He's better than Triple H, anyway.
All right.
I'm pretty sure some people said the same thing about Evolution back then.
Oh, another thing too. He's not.
So
he's
what's that
over,
person's point?
Another thing too. They're talking about his in-ring work. Like people rate it too highly.
Yeah, y'all want my
He's
thoughts?
great. He's an amazing wrestler.
Y'all want my thoughts on Seth Rollins?
Here, we'll do this. We'll give everybody the big screen. I'll have everybody mute. So let's give them the solo layout, and we'll have everybody mute.
My thoughts on Seth Rollins. Do not take this the wrong way. One, I don't think outside of 2018, and even then, I don't even think so. 2018. In WWE, sure, but I don't think he's ever had the case to be the undisputed best wrestler in the world. That's one. Second, on Seth Rollins, what I'll say is this. I'm going to compare Seth Rollins in NBA terms. And this is no disrespect to him, because please don't take this as disrespect what I'm about to say. I think Seth Rollins is Jason Tatum. I think Jason Tatum is Seth Rollins. Here's what I mean. Jason Tatum, as we all know, is a top 10 player in the NBA. He's a top 10 player in the NBA, whether you love him or hate him. He's a top 10 player in the NBA, and Jason Tatum has proven that he can be the best player on a championship team. He has proven that he can be the best player on a team that consistently makes deep postseason runs. We've seen that. Basically all but 3 years of his career in the 7 years he's been in the NBA. He's basically in the 6-7 years he's been in the NBA. He's been in the conference finals every year except 3. And 2 of those every year except 3. And we keep it in a beam. Seth Rollins has proven that he can be a main event guy in WWE. I just don't think Seth Rollins can ever be looked at as the top guy in WWE. Like, if he's your top babyface or like top heel in the company, I don't think that show is going to. I don't think you're going to be set up for. I don't think it's going to be set up very well. And that's no disrespect on Seth Rollins. I just don't think Seth is. And that's no disrespect on Seth Rollins. Seth he doesn't have the personality of a Cody, of a Roman, to where he's like the top guy. I don't think it's a coincidence. Every year outside of 2022 that he's been a heel, he's had like a sidekick with him, or he's had a lackey for him. I don't think that's a mistake. Seth Rollins is incredible. To me, he's a top 10 wrestler in the world. But to me, that's all it is. That's how I look at Jason Tatum. To me, Jason Tatum is a top 10 player in the NBA. But to me, Jason Tatum is a top 10 player in the NBA. But I don't think we ever look at Jason Tatum and go, he's the best player in the NBA. He's somebody great. I don't think we ever look at Jason Tatum and go, he's the best player in the NBA. At worst, Jason Tatum is like, at worst, he's at that 6-7 range. He can get the 5 if somebody's hurt. Like, if Wemby's hurt, if Ant's hurt or something like that, then, you could probably slide Jason Tatum. In there. Well, in terms of him being like the best player in the league, no, I don't think anybody views him as the best player in the NBA because he's not. I don't think people view Seth Rollins as the best in WWE because he's not. I don't think people view Seth Rollins as the best in the world because he's not. And also, when it comes to in-ring, Seth Rollins is a tremendous in-ring worker. For WWE, Seth Rollins is a top 10 in-ring worker of all time. But out of all of wrestling, no, it's not. Seth Rollins is not top 10. Seth Rollins might not even crack the top 20 if we keep it in the being. And that's no disrespect to Seth Rollins as a talent. Because Seth Rollins is an incredible talent. He's somebody that I would not have a problem having on my roster at all. He's somebody who I would not have an issue being world champion at all. But in terms of him being the best in the world, no, I don't think he is. That's where y'all lose. That's where people lose me when they say Seth is the best in the world. That's me. That's my thoughts. Y'all can let me know what y'all think, but that's what I think.
Let's see, get everybody unmuted here. Deontay muted. I think he had to step out. Oh, that was good. That was good. I'm not gonna lie, that was good. Okay, I could kind of see where you make the comparison with Jason Tatum and everything. I do see it. I kind of see it. But let me get my piece on here. Hi, everybody. Mute real quick. All right. Y'all know me. Seth Rollins is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Like, that's the man who brought me back into like full-time liking wrestling. Besides Bryan Danielson, it's Seth Rollins. Bryan's my 1A. Seth Rollins is my 1B. Rollins is soon to be my 1A. If he could pull out another world championship, he's my 1A. But this whole talk of Seth Rollins being overrated, he can't talk on the mic, he can't do this, he can't do that. Get that shit out of here, because that man is incredible at what he does. WWE in-ring ability, one of the best to ever do it. Outside of WWE, there's an argument there that there's a lot of more people better. I've seen a couple lists and Discords and everything. Okay, I understand. People, probably have a lot better wrestlers than Seth. I could see it. I could understand. But me personally, I'm always going to have Seth Rollins top 10 no matter what. Because the amount of matches I've seen him perform in, the amount of memorable moves, the memorable spots, the memorable things he's done in matches, I got to have him top 10. When it comes to his current work though, which I really want to, emphasize on, I don't understand why people are saying that, oh, he's not elevating Braun, he's not elevating Bronson Reed. It's going to take some time. It's not going to all click right away. Like, they're not going to all hold gold that quickly. It's going to take time. They're building out. They're building everything up. They're working everything out. They're seeing the strength. They're seeing the weaknesses. Eventually, that time will come. Because, honestly, other people too talking about how Seth and Paul don't, have chemistry with each other, how it's not working, how it's making Braun and Bronson feel less, and with them being sidekicks to Seth Rollins, it's all gonna work soon. It's all gonna work sooner or later. It's gonna take some time. Like, they literally just started like 10, 12 weeks ago. It's gonna take some time. And the thing is too with Rollins, he doesn't need Paul. Paul doesn't need Rollins. I feel like they're just working together just to help out Braun and Bronson Reed and maybe the future stars that join that faction. This is going to give them the rub. This is going to give them the push. I feel like Rollins could elevate Ron Breaker. I feel like he could elevate Bronson Reed. It's just going to take some time. Like I said, this is all new. It's all going to click. It's just going to take time to smooth things out. That's all it is. But people got to start respecting Rollins as a whole, because that man, once he's retired, because he's retiring at age 45, he said it. Once he hits 45, he's done. A lot of people are going to be wanting him back. That man is one of the best in-ring workers, one of the best storytellers, one of the best faction members ever, especially with like the Shield. That man's a legend, and he definitely deserves his flowers. But that's all I got to say for now.
So he said nothing wrong.
That's how I feel, man. That's one of my goals, man. Just the whole idea of him not being able to elevate Braun or Bronson Reed, like, they literally just started. They're just like finding their footing. Like, that's all it is. Like, eventually things are gonna take off.
I do think
Seth Rollins just needs one thing to make that group work: Roman Reigns.
I do think the biggest issue with that faction is that that faction needs a pin eater. Every faction in wrestling history, for the most part, has had a pin eater. They've had a guy. Every successful faction in history has had a guy, for the most part, that has had a guy for the most part that is there to eat the pins. Evolution
I will agree with you on that.
That's what Randy Orton. That's what Randy Orton was in Evolution. Now, obviously, Randy Orton Randy Orton had a Hall of Fame career. That's what Sami Zayn was with the Bloodline. Sami Zayn was the guy that would lose. Sami Zayn was the guy that would lose to whoever Roman was feuding with, and then boom, there we go. They need a
Take me back.
Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker should not be pin eaters because they are two big giant motherfuckers. We've seen people. We've seen Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed get the monster push where they destroy a whole bunch of people. So they should not be the pin eaters there. In terms of who the pin eater should be for this group, I know he's the North American champion right now, but I think he should drop that North American title. And there's a guy you can bring up named Ethan
Cook,
who I think would slide right into that role perfectly. First off, promos. You can have. First off, this is just me. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is a good talker, but when Seth cuts promos to me, I tune out because Seth Rollins' voice to me is like nails on the chalkboard.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I do kind of agree with you on that. Some of the time, the promos kind of do get a little bit repetitive with the whole revolutionary. I'm a visionary, like kind of switch it up.
I cannot stand that deep rap. I cannot stand that raspy ass voice he got. To me, it's like nails on the chalkboard. I can't stand it.
But he makes it work.
Yeah, you mean it's nails on the chalkboard. I can't stand it. But he is a good promo. That being said, I think Seth Rollins, Ethan Page, and Paul Heyman doing the majority of the talking. Good work. Ethan Page is somebody who can go in there. Instead of having to see Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed get their ass whooped routinely. Ethan Page bumping his ass off. Let's say LA Knight, when LA Knight wants to get his hands on Seth and Seth runs away, instead of it being Bronson and Braun, he can just beat the hell out of Ethan Page. Ethan Page can bump around for him, make him look like $1 million and shit. He can eat the pin, right? Ethan Page, you can do tag matches, and you can do tag matches on Raw, or you can do tag matches on Raw with these guys, and instead of Braun and Bronson eating the pin, what you have Ethan Page for? Ethan Page can eat the pin. Now, I'm not saying he's going to get caught up and he should be a pin eater his whole career. Obviously not. But a pin eater him being a pin eater for 1 or 2 years, he's associated with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. So he's associated with Seth and Heyman. So you're already looking at him. So he's already being looked at as somebody who WWE sees as a big star anyway. Besides, I think he'll be fine. You know how many people have been pin eaters in factions? Dominic Mysterio, before it became Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio was the pin eater for the Judgment Day.
Rollins in 2014, 2015.
Yeah, exactly.
Kept getting pinned.
Exactly. And Dominic turned out just fine. Like every faction needs like a guy who can go in there and take bumps and eat pins. Ethan Page is perfect for that. Because that should not be Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. They're just too.
I agree. I agree 100%.
But I think that's the biggest issue with that faction. They need a pin eater.
They do need a pin eater because you can't have somebody, if you're trying to build up Braun and Bronson, big guys, somebody who just came off an Intercontinental Championship reign, somebody who just returned, who had a lot of momentum before he got injured. You can't have them being pinned a lot.
He was being presented as we got Braun Breaker, who was an Intercontinental Champion, just going through every roster. And he was presented as a bad motherfucker. And then Bronson Reed, who before he got hurt was terrorizing everybody. Like he was getting a monster push. They should be coming back. They should not be coming back and eating pins. You know what I mean? Like they should not be doing that. Like you got a guy in NXT you can call up. He can run his mouth and shit, and he can eat the pin, and then he can run his mouth and shit, and he can eat the pin for at least 1 or 2 years, however long this faction goes. And then you can do things. You either turn Ethan Page face or you turn Seth Rollins, because we all know Seth Rollins is going to end up back as a babyface anyway. Seth babyface and Ethan Page. Now Seth got a ready-made feud with Ethan Page. There you go. But every faction needs a pin eater. Every faction in wrestling history, for the most part, has had a pin eater. So to me, Ethan Page being that for this group, I think that's what they need. And then
I agree with that 100%. But here's the crazy thing too. You think that Plan B that they mentioned on Monday Night Raw is Ethan Page? Because they mentioned Plan B.
They teased Jay as the Plan B, but I don't know.
All I know, I feel like it's either Ethan, Jay, or Sammy.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't know how they'll do it, but it's either one of those three.
Look, I'm not a Jey Uso hater. but I do not want him in that faction whatsoever. He needs to stay far.
I think turning Jey Uso and Sami Zayn heel would be, especially because I think the direction at SummerSlam. I think what you could do is I think at SummerSlam. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I think it's getting more and more likely that at SummerSlam we get a double turn with Cody and Cena, where Cena goes back babyface and Cody goes heel.
Cody would be an interesting choice. Cody.
If they end up turning Cody Rhodes heel, you need another baby. You need another baby face there. But you need another baby. I love CM Punk. But I don't think CM Punk at this stage in his career can be that because CM Punk is like 48 years old. I don't think that. You're gonna have Cena, but Cena's not gonna be around that long.
He's got 6 months left, I think. Or 5.
It would be absolutely stupid for them to turn Cody Rhodes heel and then for them to turn Jey Uso. I know people don't like Jey Uso, but let's just go ahead and keep it a being. Let's go ahead and call it spade. Jey Uso is not even properly. Jey Uso is the most over guy in that company.
Yup, 100%.
Overrated.
Yeah, Jey Uso, yeah.
There goes Shush.
If they turn Cody Rhodes heel and then
I move merchant.
if they turn Cody Rhodes heel and then turn Jey Uso heel, why would you do that?
That would be the dumbest thing ever.
That would be stupid,
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
It'd be so
forgetting
lopsided
who's
in
in charge?
WWE. Like literally, like the seesaw. There'll be all these heels, and then all the faces above. Like,
So personally, I think it would be a mistake to turn Jey. I think it would be a mistake to turn Sami Zayn heel. Also, to be right honest.
that too.
I don't.
Yeah.
I really don't understand the hatred Sami Zayn gets. I know, like if you're tired.
Whoa,
It would make more
whoa.
sense that Sami Zayn would be a heel than Jay because Sami he has shown that he could be a really good heel.
There's a reason why Shoes has hate against him.
Yeah,
Why
sure.
are
She
you
wanna
saying
sure. She
Sami
wanna explain
Zayn-
that to Cam.
Why are you saying Sami Zayn turning? He's been a heel for over a year.
I'm not saying he can't be a heel. I'm not saying he can't be.
He already is a heel.
I just think him turning heel at this point in his career, I think it would be a mistake. I don't know what the hatred people have with Sami Zayn is outside of his character, outside of the Sami Zayn
I can list.
Okay, fine.
I can list so many.
If you think the Sami Zayn character is stale, that's fine. But you have, but let's not act like that Sami Zayn is coming out to crickets each week. Sami Zayn is still coming out to one of the loudest pops on the entire show. But Sami Zayn
just did with 90
to his theme song.
Bro, he's still coming out to one of the loudest.
You gonna take that?
Right, he's still coming out to one of the loudest pops on the entire show. Sami Zayn, even though he can't
put that comment up.
Even though Sami Zayn cannot do a lot of the shit that he could physically do, even though Sami Zayn could not do a lot of the shit that he could physically do, Sami Zayn is still
shot, man.
In the world. Sami Zayn is a master. Sami Zayn is a master at getting whatever crowd. Sami Zayn is a master at getting the crowd behind him and behind his matches. To where when's the last time you watched a Sami Zayn match and was like, damn man, this crowd is dead? When's the last time that's happened?
That is true.
Hasn't happened.
He left.
Zayn is still
He's back.
Sami Zayn is still
never mind.
league. So I'm just saying, I think turning Sami heel would be a mistake.
He rage quit.
Where is he? Here he goes.
There he is.
I don't know what happened, but yeah.
I thought
your hate for Sammy kicked you out.
Yeah.
Nah, but
Sami Zayn's been heel for years. I don't like him.
Because of Gable, Chad Gable.
He beat Gunther. He beat the Usos.
Remember, we had the whole talks about him being Sammy Hogan for like quite a bit. Remember that?
Do you want to talk about Saudi? The guy gets 3 arm raises. Jay got 0.
Yeah, I mean, DZ do got a point though. Yeah, that like long term heel run.
He's a good heel.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
What?
DZ, step outside. Step outside, DZ.
Also, I know people don't like it, but since they're gonna be in Saudi, I think Sami Zayn is the favorite to win the Rumble next year.
Yeah.
If he wins the Rumble, I'm not watching Mania. Simple as.
Sympathy merchant, yeah, winning again.
No, but back to Seth Rollins, man. Just like the hatred I'm seeing, like in Discords and on Twitter and on just social media in general, that's insane.
IWCP at his finest.
Like
I
the
hate
Seth I'm not gonna lie.
I have a hatred against IWCP.
The Seth Riders is an overreach. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because
come on, man.
Okay, I get it's 2 former Shield members with a briefcase, but let's be honest. One has a contract for a world title. One has the actual world title
and
being held
gatekeep
hostage
it from everybody else to see.
Do y'all remember what it looks like? Because I
don't.
remember. Yeah,
I don't
because
really
it's
remember,
been that
bro.
long since we seen it presented on TV, on AEW TV. And then the whole thing with the faction 2 comparing Braun and Bronson to Claudio Wheeler, like
They're two completely different things, dude. Like,
yeah,
come on.
like
Like,
what losing the
are we
plot?
really? Are we out here really comparing Wheeler Yuta to fucking Bronson Reed? Like, come on.
And
Really?
Braun Breaker,
Bronson
like
Reed runs rings around Jeter.
yeah,
Green Bug Aura from Wheeler Yuta.
Green
I'm
Bug
sorry.
Aura.
That man looks like he lives underneath the bridge. I hate to say it. But
They have to stop doing that comparison between Seth and Roman, bro.
Yeah,
Look,
they got to
No,
stop
the thing is,
because look,
and that, you know what? And that's the reason why people are bringing this up, because it's former Shield members who are taking charge of a faction in the main event, but like they're two completely different factions, man. Like,
and that's another thing too. People keep saying the bloodline. They keep saying, "Oh, it's the bloodline 2.0." Okay, first off, the bloodline obviously is relatives. There's no relatives in this faction.
And
this
plus,
is,
there was build up.
Dangerous Alliance 2.0. This is Dangerous Alliance 2.0. If you know, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Because like you gotta remember, when the bloodline faction was formed, it wasn't like it was formed like literally after Mania. It was like months leading up to. Like, we had to see Jay and Roman had to get a feud, and then we had to see the the match where the I Quit match with Jay and Roman, and then Jimmy had to come in, and then what I mean, like all that stuff had to get built up. It was just that's a completely different thing, but also too, like, it worked because Roman was on top, his stock was at an all-time high. They took advantage of one of the best tag teams that WWE has ever seen in the modern era. But when you compare it to this faction right here, you just got two upcoming stars. Braun Breaker, he's going to be world champion. Bronson Reed, he's bound to get a mid card title. And Seth, it's just like Roman. He's just the veteran of the group, and he's the leader. And then, well, obviously they got Paul Heyman on the side. I mean, you got a great manager and everything. Do the Death Riders have a manager? No, not really. I mean, unless you count what's her face on the faction, like like unless you count her, but like she's not really a manager, but she kind of is. You know what I mean? She still wrestles. So I think the people are just they're making this comparison because they're kind of getting sick and tired of Seth Rollins. I have no problem or qualms about Seth Rollins personally. I think he's had a great career. I think he's still a main event player. Yeah, he might not be the same dude that he was back in 2015 and 2019, but he still brings eyes to the product one way or another.
And then another thing too.
That's the hate with IWC though. Like I swear they
they're just a bunch of fucking bitches, dude.
Like,
they
bro,
switch up because I remember in April when the whole turn with Paul Heyman and Seth happened, everybody was ecstatic about it. And then the following night when Braun Breaker aligned himself with both of them, everybody was going crazy about it. Now all of a sudden everybody hates it.
They switch their opinions overnight, bro. Like you know what I mean? They literally do. Like once they don't like something, like in a span of a day, their opinions like, oh, I hate this so much.
Literally in 2018, Cam said it. Literally, Seth was the MVP of 2018. I'm sorry.
In my opinion, yep, 100%.
The wrestler of the year in 2018, and then that next year in 2019, they talked about his Universal title reign, which yes, it was shit. And then y'all hated on him because he did say some questionable stuff on social media.
2019 was Seth. I understand the backlash.
Yeah.
One, there's a couple things. One, as Universal Champion, he was booked like a bitch. That title ain't terrible.
Fucking Vince McMahon.
He was presented on TV as a. Hey, can I say this word on stream?
We don't talk about 2019.
Hey, do you want to put this word on stream?
What word?
The P word.
Say it. I don't give a shit.
Seth Rollins in 2019 was presented as a pussy.
He was.
Wow. Yeah.
The fact that this motherfucker was crying.
I thought Roman saying sabotage was bad enough, but that was bad too. Yeah. Sabotage, yeah. I thought that was bad, but Seth was like, he just looked like a pussy. You're right.
You with the thing where he's crying in the corner. Meanwhile, they do. He's scared of the people. Meanwhile, they do Goldberg in the ring. You know what Goldberg does? Goldberg on TV. Bitch, I ain't scared of you. Right, Goldberg on TV. Bitch, I ain't scared of
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, that took a lot of repairing to do for Seth Rollins. I'm so glad after he lost that, they turned him heel so he could go into that Messiah gimmick.
Oh, that Messiah gimmick was so good.
They had to turn him
really good.
Yeah, they have to turn him heel.
I had to. I love when he came out on Raw after Survivor Series. He started cooking everybody outside the ring.
That
He
shit
needs to
was
do that
funny as
again.
fuck.
Rey Mysterio,
genuinely
you
needs to
let
do
us
that again.
all down. I beat Brock Lesnar twice. You couldn't do it with your stupid son. That shit's crazy.
Heel Seth is so much better.
Oh,
Heel
bro.
Seth over face Seth easily.
Easily, 100%.
I want the Messiah gimmick back as well. That's his best.
I
That's
do.
the best Seth Rollins.
I do.
They kind of fumbled that gimmick too, especially
They
with the
did.
eye for an eye match.
Bro, what the fuck was
I
Vince,
like
bro?
Vince,
Damn, bro.
That was Vince losing his mind slowly but surely. But then 2019 was the peak of his dementia.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
You know, it's
Because-
bad when a longtime WWE fans just started to go like, nope, I can't watch this. Let's see what this new promotion is doing. AEW, they gotta be doing better. You know what I mean?
that was me. That would be me.
That
I
was me.
really
That was
tune
straight
in.
up. After 2019, I didn't watch WWE until 2022. I mean, yeah, here's bits and pieces here and there. You know,
Mhm.
like obviously I watched WrestleMania and SummerSlam, but I wasn't like watching the storylines, keeping up with them. I didn't give a shit. Like they were just stinkers.
Yeah,
Dude.
like,
you
especially,
know,
like,
the only
2020
thing that kept me in the loop during that time was the Bloodline storyline, and that
Yup.
was
The
everything
beginning of
else.
it.
I could give a rat's ass.
It was literally
You wanna know
just the
what's
Bloodline
crazy?
storyline and then Brian. Those were the only two things.
Yeah, that was
keeping
it.
me-
That was
Yup.
it. Mm-hmm.
And do you
And
want to know what's
Edge.
crazy?
What?
The current booker currently has CTE and dementia. So, yeah, WWE is a lot worse.
I ain't gonna lie though, he needs to get his head out of his ass, bro, and start locking in because
Yeah,
what's
but here's the
going
thing: is
on?
it really Triple H or is
Like
it?
I said, bro,
also,
it's
but
a
also
power
the puppet
struggle, bro.
master,
It's-
TKO, bro.
It's
Like
between
I really.
Triple H.
So I want to talk about this too. So like there have been rumors where there's a possibility that Triple H might be out as a booker.
I
don't
prayed
know.
for this and it happened.
Well, we don't know if it's true or not, but I'm going to assume that it is because the way that TKO has been heavily influencing with the booking decisions and who they want to push and all that, I wouldn't be surprised. And I feel like Triple H is becoming an easy scapegoat. And honestly, he has made some pretty bad decisions these last couple of years, but I wouldn't say like he's like the main reason why the product is the way it is. I mean, when you have a guy like The Rock who doesn't want to fucking show up in the most crucial part of your storyline, that just kind of tells you like the whole thing. Like, is it really relationship control or is it just like whatever The Rock needs to do?
Like I said
Yeah, but
before, you could tell the difference between booking in 2023 to now. 2023, it felt more organic. It felt more Triple H-esque. Now it feels like more corporate-like, more generic, more like TKO's getting into their ears.
Yeah, and if you watch Triple H and booking at NXT, it was definitely a great product to watch, especially in 2019 when they really the main roster was not good at all. Like like the Undisputed Era and all those guys, like you had a bunch of talent that was being booked right. Like it felt like genuinely like good booking, and that was all Triple H. And I want to say all of it, but some of it was also Shawn Michaels too. But yeah, that's what I mean. It's like how much does the line like blend with the reality of like this is really Triple H's fault versus okay, well his decisions are getting influenced by board of directors of TKO and other people talking his year off.
Yeah, but isn't Triple H the same guy that said if I booked how I did in NXT, you wouldn't like it or something like that?
There's been a lot of things Triple H has said. Like he'll say, "Oh, I'm not gonna do this. I don't listen to the IWC. This, down the third." There's been a lot of quotes.
Yeah.
But if that's the case,
if
that's the case, then why did you bring back R-Truth then? Because it sounds like that's your
his idea. Remember,
stepping
that's
back.
all him.
All I'm saying,
right?
It's true.
Hope you're enjoying the show. Swift punch in the nose.
It's sad that we really got a power struggle.
They don't want to give us credit that R-Truth came back because of us.
It's crazy.
And they're trying to convince us that it's a work. Like, no, it's not a work, bro.
It wasn't a work.
It wasn't.
He actually got released.
It was not.
We were the ones that brought him back. We were the ones that brought him back.
That's why Triple H is the third best booker in wrestling right now.
But they don't
Wait, Deontay, what you say? Deontay, what you say?
Though. We literally have a whole power struggle between two bald-headed sons of bitches with Steve and a money-hungry UFC.
I feel like Dwayne is more of a bastard than Triple H, but that's just me.
Oh yeah,
why do you think everybody's been calling him a bald fraud lately?
I don't know if y'all saw that report,
frauds.
but I guess like The Rock is trying to clean up his image for that documentary that's coming out. So they're having him they're having the production crew record him at like positive moments and shit. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Oh, like backstage stuff.
Backstage, yeah, for WWE Unreal.
Yeah, that's the show from Netflix, I think, right on July.
But I will say this, Tony Khan, I know I hate comparing both companies, but I will say Tony Khan has gradually become a better booker over time. He has been because
I feel like he had to get humbled because I feel like he had to get humbled because of the whole thing he does on Twitter, like just basically talking shit. It's like, dude, don't talk shit. Just do it. I think
he got PR trained.
Yeah, I think somebody has his Twitter account and like, no, Tony, you cannot post this. Yeah.
Yeah, because
not post that, Tony. Don't do your keep. You gotta do your.
All right, well, from what I've heard, and from what I've heard, according to from what I've heard, y'all remember how when WWE used to do something to fuck with AEW, or Tony Khan used to go on Twitter and used to fuck
the comparisons or the shots. Yep.
Well, according to reports I've heard, one, people behind the scenes have told Tony, hey, that's not a good look. That's one. And two, his honest reaction to the shit now is to just laugh. Like the fucking, like Great American Bash running head to head with All In.
Yeah.
His reaction to it was to just laugh. He just laughed. He laughed his ass off about it. Like according to reports, like he laughed about it, and it's like, he just laughed about it. And like his whole mindset is, the people that are gonna watch All In, they're gonna watch All In. Like they're not gonna the people who are gonna watch All In, they're gonna watch All In. There's not a single soul that sees All In and Great American Bash. I'm gonna watch Great American Bash. Like him, it's like
I know I didn't.
Like to him, it's not a single soul who's willing to do that. And also he realizes that the people that are gonna watch Great American Bash, they're gonna watch Great American Bash anyway, so he can't persuade people to watch my show anyway. He knows his show is he knows his show is gonna be better anyway. So his honest reaction.
Hell yeah, most definitely,
100%.
Because American Bash compared to All In.
Can I be honest with y'all? NXT ever since we lost some of the women and some of the stars.
Now Ricky Saints, is Seth Becure. Yeah,
like that's his honest. Like
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Like
NXT's all over the place. It's up and down right now.
That is his honest backstage.
Well,
just laughs. Like somebody backstage told him, "Man, you going on Twitter and doing this is not a good look." So
what's crazy? They've been improving in everything. Like
they have.
I'll be on Twitter a lot. So like their social admin for AEW, they've actually been cooking. Like they've been putting like a lot of promo videos and all this. I'm like,
you can see full matches on YouTube now.
Doing this shit.
Yeah, you could.
I've been able to watch Ricky Saints' last match against Ethan Page, and that was a really good match. I was like, I don't think I'll be able to catch it on. I think it's a great move, and I think Ring of Honor's been doing that too, where they just go like, all right, let's just post our full matches on YouTube because we're not getting enough live audience, but we also want to keep people in the loop if they can't, because we're not doing good right now.
They've been getting a lot better at promoting, social media handling. They've been doing a lot better. Tony
Khan back get his flowers at the end of the year.
He's gradually improved as a booker. I think he put his ego aside. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna improve my product, and that's exactly what he's been doing.
Especially with pay-per-views.
I think the whole incident with him posting the backstage brawl with CM Punk and Jack Perry was like the thing that was like, okay,
a humbling moment.
Yeah, that was a humbling moment. It was just like, Tony, like there was probably a lot of people that are like trying to convince him to not do it. Please don't do it. And then once it happened, like that's when the momentum started to go down for AEW for quite a bit, and it didn't really get back to the swing of things for over a year, right? Like it was posted in 2023, late 2023, if I'm not mistaken.
2024. Yeah, it was
2024. So after that, it was like that weird stage where it's like booking's not going well, everything's like, the attendance were going down, viewership was going down. It got so bad to the point where I don't remember what month it was in 2024. It was like late 2024, where they were only bringing in 550K viewers on a weekly basis.
That was according to
it was a really rough time.
Yeah, according to Tony Khan, a lot of shit he used to do for AW, he just stopped. He just stopped doing it. One of them is him being on Twitter constantly nonstop. He stopped doing that. The second one is y'all remember how like when people would get released from WWE, Tony Khan would just snatch them up. Tony Khan has stopped doing that. Tony Khan has stopped doing that now.
The science become more logical. I mean, Ricochet was a logical move.
Yeah.
Mike Bailey was definitely a logical move because he just came off of a great run with TNA, so he's like, all right, well.
Kevin
Knight was a great move because he fits exactly what he's looking for in his vision with AEW. There's another.
I think Bobby Lashley should have been a good move, but
Tony stop.
Well, here's the thing though. I don't blame him to get Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. To me during that time, I'm like, well, that makes sense because here's why. Because his run with WWE was not going anywhere at all. Meanwhile, Tony Khan goes, okay, I can bring Bobby Lashley and MVP and Shelton Benjamin onto the show, and they'll instantly become one of the focal points of the show. While WWE was like, we have no interest with Bobby Lashley or Shelton Benjamin or MVP.
Yeah. So, another thing Tony Khan has stopped doing, if y'all notice, is if y'all have noticed, a lot of people that are just unhappy in AEW don't want to be there. Tony Khan is no longer doing the thing where he's adding like injury time to people. Are like, no, I'm not releasing you. If you are unhappy, Tony's just like, bye, get the fuck out. Like he does not want that shit in his company anymore at all. Like he does not want.
No. And I think a lot of people had to tell him that too, because there's times where like let's say Aleister Black, for instance, like he was unhappy for AEW for like 2 years, a solid 2 years, and it was well known, especially with him. Andrade, like
Ray Phoenix.
There'd be times where like he would just stuck it out. Like if you're not happy in AEW, then just get out. Like, all right, we're gonna terminate your contract, do this, you know what I mean? That's what WWE and that's what TNA did forever. So I think now he's kind of getting to the point with his decisions and his booking decisions where it's like, okay, I gotta do what's best for the company, not I need this person to stay on the roster because he brings in revenue. He's a big draw. He's a great wrestler. You know what I mean? It comes to a fine line where you have to make a business decision and a personal decision. And Tony has been making a lot more business decisions than personal decisions lately.
With Tony, he's grown a lot more of a backbone in the sense of he's grown a lot more of a backbone in the sense of, hey, here's what the fuck we're going to do. Hey, here's what the fuck I have planned for you. You can do it, or if not, you can sit at home. Like that's part. Like that's one of the big reasons why. That's one of the big reasons why Britt Baker's not even anymore. She's on the do not call list because Britt Baker's like I don't want to do this and the third. She was just like she's like a giant pain in the ass to work with, and Tony Khan got tired of doing it. Tony Khan was like, just go home. Man. I'll pay you to sit home. I'll pay you to sit home. Yeah,
it brings me to your point, Cam,
right,
that we were talking about earlier. I don't know if y'all seen reports that Chris Jericho, Danhausen, and Private Party are probably drawing interest from WWE once they're
Jericho should come back.
Oh God, I hope not.
I want Jericho back.
God, I hope not.
Danhausen's probably.
Don't get me wrong. I think he was great in WWE, but like when you're like in your 50s, you can't wrestle like you used to, dude. Like,
I think one last run WWE, then he retires.
But Private Party though does make a lot of sense though.
No, it don't.
Private Party, I could see.
No, why? What do you mean no? Why?
Private Party.
They dropped the ball on them.
Listen, hate aside for Triple H, I generally just don't think in NXT they'll do good, but main roster.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Cam, what did you say?
I said Danhausen is not coming back.
Yeah, I don't think Danhausen will come back.
I don't care for that.
I don't think he would fit WWE.
I didn't think AEW would do them dirty,
but it's good for AEW because you want to cut the fat out of the roster, people that you're not using. Like WWE, like it's crazy because like 2 years ago you could say, "Oh my God, AEW's hoarding all the talent. They're getting all the ex WWE stars, whatever." 2 years later, now you're getting all the ex AEW stars in WWE.
Now the script has
The
flipped.
script has flipped. Yeah, WWE is getting a lot bigger.
Because now it's happened to Andrade. Now it's happened to Ray Phoenix. Now Penta's gonna get a mid card title, but as of right now, a lot of these AEW people, I honestly Ricky Sainz and Mariah May, can't think of her name right now just because it's still in my head.
Blake Monroe.
Thank you. But honestly, they just signed. They're going to be part of the future for the long term. But guys like Andrade and Phoenix, it's very clear. And even Aleister Black too. I know he's got his thing going with Ron Killings, but these are guys that are kind of in the back burner right now. They just don't feel important. It's just full circle again with AEW.
He doesn't know what to do with that.
If you're gonna in the first place, it's just like if Tony Khan back in 2023. If you don't know what your plans are with the guy, or Rusev too, another guy you gotta talk about. If you're gonna sign him, you have no intentions to have any plans with them. Why even sign him to begin with?
I mean, the thing with Miro is
he was already a pain in the ass too.
Yeah, he was difficult to work with.
He had plans. He wanted to use.
And then hold up, all that bullshit with his wife too, and behind the scenes as well.
Miro was just I'm not doing that shit. He wanted to use Miro. I'm not doing that shit. Probably was what the
Miro sucks anyway. He's just doing what he was doing back in 2014.
Damn. I mean, he had a banger with Sheamus yesterday. I went back to go see that because I didn't watch Raw live yesterday, but I went back to see it. They had a banger. They had a banger match.
I'm sure they did because it's Sheamus, but
he's just a mix of his 2014 run and his AEW run.
Perfectly said.
Mid, bland.
We're not even going to talk about his Collision, when he first started out Collision. Because honestly, when he started on Collision, it looked like it was pretty promising at first. You could tell during that time that they wanted to build up Rusev as a mid card title holder, but ever since that whole thing with with CM Punk and all that, it just Miro has found absolutely no momentum at all. So
it's when he lost that TNT title because his TNT title run was actually enjoyable, and then
it was, I would agree. But then once he came back full time in Collision in 2023, he looked like he was about to get another mid card title, but like I said before, things just didn't line up for him.
I think Danhausen does fit in WWE. I think
he does.
He does. He definitely does. His character alone speaks WWE.
I feel like he's more I feel like he does more better with indies than he does with WWE. Maybe he can. I don't know how it would.
His t-shirts would go. His t-shirt merch would go insane.
They would. I just don't know how a WWE tenure with Danhausen would look like, though. That's the problem.
Put him on NXT. That's the put him on NXT.
But I don't think he'll. Honestly, he'll be a low card.
Probably be the best tag team in NXT.
He wouldn't fit. He doesn't fit on the main roster.
No, I agree.
All
I just
he does is
I
point at
can't
people
envision
and
him
pass
being
them.
in a full-time roster and the main roster. I'm sorry, it can't happen.
Yeah, I don't see
just
him
be a
even holding a
backstage guy.
mid-card title or anything like that. I feel like he'll just be
If
there
he
for
holds
a
a mid-card
comedy.
title,
What a
if he holds a
comedy.
mid-card title, I'm going TNA. I'm not watching that shit. If Danhausen ever gets a title in WWE,
it's a lot's changed between WWE and AEW within the last 2 years. I feel like the scripts have flipped. They have flipped indefinitely. You hear a lot more negative for WWE now, and then a lot more positive for AEW. 2 years ago, you heard the exact opposite.
You heard nothing but negatives from AEW. It was like a story every single week. Every single week was a rumor. Every single week was a backstage drama. It was insane for that time, man. It was.
Yeah, WWE is loads now.
It was that bad. Backstage was really that bad back then.
Yeah, because I remember, oh my God, WrestleMania 39. Oh my God, Triple H is Booker of the Year. Tony Khan, he doesn't know how to utilize talent. This, down the third. The whole CM Punk thing with the Elite. Those were times.
And now WWE's got a massive injury bug.
Yeah, that's
that's another thing.
Oh yeah, injury prone. How many people got injured?
Remember, people would shit on AEW for not having a performance center and be like, "Oh, this is why all these wrestlers are getting injured and all that." But yet, we got booking decisions like Chad Gable, for instance, where he's wrestling in AAA, the show, and then he goes in the Money in the Bank. It's like you can't do that.
And then AJ Styles and Raw. You're stupid.
It's just
I don't know
like
why Triple H wrote that off and said, "Yeah, that's a great idea. He's not going to get injured."
if anything,
Dumbass.
you should just left Chad Gable out of the Money in the Bank to begin with. Like, you can't do that to a wrestler at all. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
Unless it's like Seth Rollins where he cashes in, you know what I mean? In WrestleMania 31, where it's like, hey, you're gonna have a full match in the beginning of the show with Randy Orton, and then you're gonna cash it in 2 minutes within the match. Makes sense. But like 2 full-time matches, one's 30 minutes, the other's like 20, 25. Like, that's too much, dude. Especially the bumps you have, and then the bumps the bumps you have to take too during that match and the ladder match. Like, no way, no go.
I gotta go. I gotta appear on most streams the last time.
Bet. Appreciate you for popping on, man. I appreciate it. Good conversations, good thoughts, good talk.
Bro, thanks for letting me on. I'll see y'all later, everybody.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man.
It's the same with Rey Mysterio. Having him fight the day before WrestleMania at his age.
Don't get me started, dude. That pissed me
was
off so
stupid.
bad. That was so dumb. It was. I remember that match so vividly because I remember like when he was on the side and who was it? JD McDonough. I forgot who it was. They were checking up on him. The Creeds. Yep, the Creeds. They were checking up on him. I'm like, oh my god. Of course. Like,
very stupid decision. He has a whole faction.
And that's why the whole thing happened with Rey Fénix to begin with, because Rey was bound to lose, so they want to get Chad Gable over with the gimmick. So they stuck with the intentional plans of just having Chad Gable win that match, and then Rey Fénix looked bad in the process. It was just bad decisions, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but like the thought process and the booking decisions have been declining. Just been declining ever since, I want to say, end of 2024, maybe around like Survivor Series last year. It's just been going downhill.
I would say so too.
Like, I feel like nowadays it's just money hungry. It's just greed. It's not using your 2 cents, common sense. It's just been a lot.
I mentioned this in the one of the episodes here, was that like it's starting to become run more of like a business than an actual wrestling promotion.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. They're focusing more on the monetary business side instead of the actual.
But yeah, you have so much money though. Like, you just signed AAA. You're signed with TNA. It's like, you don't need this much money. You're already big enough as it is. You're basically monopolizing the wrestling market as it is. You know, so it's like, and then AEW's got their thing with CMLL, and it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I hate the direction that WWE is going. It just feels like a monopolized business than a wrestling promotion.
The same with the video games now. That they've got KSI in the video game now. Like,
you know what I mean? When you have Travis Scott coming into the main event of WrestleMania, that's when you know. Yeah.
Look, I said it before, he's my favorite artist all time, but to have him involved in that kind of made the
instead
moment
of The Rock.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Like, I was happy. Y'all saw my reaction. I was happy to see Cena win, but with Travis Scott's involvement, I was like,
and no Rock.
It's probably not the best idea.
No.
Like I said, TKO buying WWE has definitely fucked over.
Yeah.
And there's rumors too about Vince in the midst of getting back some of the shares in TKO.
I hope that doesn't happen. We need him far away from the wrestling business as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But
I remember at one point he was talking about creating his own wrestling company. I was like, wow.
I remember that. That happened like what, 4 or 5 months ago.
I read it. I remember seeing that. Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Did y'all see fucking Hogan and Eric Bischoff? They did a show. I think they had only got like 600 people to go. I'm like,
nobody watched it.
Probably old heads from.
They're doing a wrestling show now.
They were trying to do a wrestling show and it ultimately failed.
They did it. They tried
because like it's a bunch of 50, 60-year-old old men. You know,
they tried to do it so many times, bro, and all the shows have always been bad. Because the ones in like the late 2000s, they did it.
Oh yeah, I remember those when they brought in who was it? It was I remember those. It was like in an arena. It was like in a venue. It only held like a couple hundred people. It was like basically a nostalgic trip for anyone that grew up in the 90s.
You know, You know, him being in the main event every.
Yo, shout out everybody watching right now, man. We just over here chopping it up about WWE, what they got to do better, the whole 9 yards. But
Fire Triple H.
yeah, Triple H got to lock in, man. We got the summer ahead of us. We're in July now.
You know, at this point, bro, if Triple H is really gonna step down, fuck it. Why not bring up Shawn Michaels? I'm willing for a change. Like seriously, at this
Shawn
point,
Michaels, Paul Heyman.
I would honestly, if they really wanted to, give the reins to Paul Heyman because he's shown that he could be a great booker.
Yep,
he's doing.
100%.
Oh hell yeah, Paul.
I would love
Raw in 2019, Raw in 2020, like early 2020.
SmackDown with the Big Seven.
Yep.
That was the Black Buddy Murphy. It was great.
Paul Heyman knew what he was doing back then.
Exactly. But I just want to say one more thing before we end it off here about the Seth Rollins, hate and everything. Look, we got the whole summer. This faction is going to cook. They're just scraping the surface right now. This faction is going to cook. Something is going to kick off, especially come SummerSlam time. We're going to see something generational with this faction. I don't want to hear people blame Seth Rollins for the faction's, slow build or the poor booking and everything, because that's obviously the booker's fault, Triple H. As long as Triple H locks in, plays his cards right, we could see an all-time faction here. So that's all I'm going to say. Because
Roman Reigns. As soon as that Roman Reigns feud starts, it'll pick up.
Because we know what Rollins is capable of. He could elevate people. We've seen him elevate people. It's been shown that he could elevate people. It's just the booker. He got to lock in. He got to make the storyline right. He got to make the direction right. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Anybody else have any last minute comments? Anything they want to
say? Speedy recovery to Otis and Chad Gable.
That too. Damn, speedy recovery to both of them because, they're going to be out for a while. Saw that Otis had surgery. Same with Chad Gable on the shoulder. But yeah, so I'm going to end it off here. Appreciate everybody for showing up and showing out as per usual. Next week, we got a lot of predictions we got to get through. We do got a lot of predictions we got to talk about. There's a lot of shows happening next Saturday. All In, Great American Bash, Saturday Night Main Event. Then Sunday we have Evolution. It's going to be a jam-packed weekend for wrestling next week. But till next week, I will see y'all.